20. Morgan to the 10-yard line, to the 5. Touchdown, Arkansas! Grant Morgan with a nifty move at the 5-yard line, and the Razorbacks score.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
You're causing a major disturbance on my time.
If I'm here and you're here, doesn't that make it our time?
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station. Streaming live from
HitThatLine.com.
There's a lot of lions, tigers, and bears, but there ain't but one Razorback. Number one.
This is The Morning Rush.
Borderline erotic.
With Ty Richardson.
That's cool. I can dig it.
And Tommy Kraft.
Do I look happy?
What's wrong?
Lloyd!
The Morning Rush starts right now.
When you think about great weekends in sports, this is definitely one of them. AFC Championship, NFC Championship, the quarterbacks that we get to see this weekend. I am ecstatic for that. Happy Football and Fast Break Friday, as we've got a lot of football to discuss, and we got some Arkansas basketball to discuss as well. You heard Grant Morgan's pick 6 against Matt Corral in the Ole Miss game. I want to talk about some of your favorite Razorback football moments from the 2020 season. Your athletics director, Hunter Yurachek, spoke with the Arkansas media yesterday. A lot of key talking points that we're going to have to get to coming up in the program. And then also got a text from Clay Henry last night. He wants to talk about Bigfoot in Oklahoma, the publisher of Hogs Illustrated. Of all things he wanted to discuss, that is on the agenda, on the docket for today's program.
Apparently there's going to be a hunting season for Bigfoot in Oklahoma.
Okay, only in Oklahoma, Tommy. So I also have had some really good food in the last 24 hours that might come up as well. Where are we going to go first this morning?
Oh, as tempting as Bigfoot is, let's start with Hunter Yurachek. And I thought that was – yesterday was such a busy day on the Hill as far as Zoom meetings. Dave Van Horn had a multi-coach Zoom conference for the event down in Arlington that's coming up that Arkansas is going to be a part of, and got game times on that. Musselman was on the Zoom. I think everybody but Sam Pittman, the major head coaches, did a Zoom yesterday, including Hunter Yurachek. So I thought some of the business and financial side of it that always interests me came out, and that was interesting, and I think we should begin there.
Okay, so where do you want to treetop that conversation? You talked with the media about 30 minutes about a variety of things. What was, you think, the most important, and what do you think our audience would be interested in this morning?
Well, I mean, to me, I don't know what the audience is interested in, because generally as fans, we just want to see the baby. We don't see delivery. We just want to see the baby. But the reality is the business challenges and the financial challenges behind the walls there at the Broyles Complex are still real. What was he said? $25 to $30 million decrease in revenue,
and they were anticipating 20 to 25. So that's about $5 million more than their highest deficit potential.
Those are real issues that, as an administrator, he's having to figure out ways to balance. Some of it you could deal with reduction of costs and cutting your short-term costs and really pinching pennies, and you're not traveling as much, but those things only add up so fast. And then you can also deal with it by eliminating certain staff members, which they have done by having folks retire and eliminating positions. He spoke on some of that yesterday. So to me, the most telling thing, or the most honest thing about yesterday's conversation was the fact that, hey, we got a $25 to $30 million shortfall that we're trying to figure out how to bridge here right now.
Tommy, you mentioned some of those staff members. He said that there was a lot of expertise within those walls that had to retire. And like when we say early retirement, that was forced retirement, right? We just got to be plain and outspoken about that. Those members, I mean, there's a variety of people that worked within the athletic department that were now
the vast majority have been there 20-plus years.
Correct.
We're probably nearing retirement age already.
Good salaries,
upper end of the scale for their positions, and we're nearing an age where maybe they could take early retirement. So this, might not have been their choice. They may want to work another 2 or 3 or 4 years, but when you're the captain of the ship, you got to do something. You got to make decisions to keep the ship afloat. And think that's where he was at.
Yeah, it's not an easy task, and really any leadership position, you're going to get questioned. You're going to get rebuked. People say, oh, you didn't do this right, didn't do this right. Tommy, we've spoken several times. You and I do not envy Hunter Yurachek's job, Scott Verity's job, and the stuff that they're having to deal with fiscally and financially because they're making less money because of the COVID restrictions, and they are also being tasked with the fact that there's so many things that are it's an uphill battle for athletics directors across the country, and props to Hunter and some of the other and many of the other staff members within those walls to take pay cuts to do what they need to in order to keep as much staff at the U of A as possible. But it's just very, very difficult. And on the subject of revenue, I thought it was interesting how he spoke to him coming up with that football enhancement fund, which I know we'll get to coming up here in the morning rush.
You know, you can sit and devise plans with your senior staff of places you could maybe cut cost and reduce some overhead. But you go through that. I mean, you eliminate 15 jobs or 20 jobs that, you'll find a way to buckle up and spread that work out amongst other people on the staff. Mm-hmm. But even if those 20 people were making, all of them averaging, and they don't average $150,000 apiece, you're still not coming anywhere close to $20 million or $25 million or $30 million. My point, there's only so many cuts you can actually make to your overhead that result in a few $1 million, $4 or $5 million. The shortfall is the ticket sales that you never get back. No one's coming back a year from now and saying, hey, I tell you what, we'll make up those ticket sales from the 2020 season that we didn't buy that. I mean, this is all that's the difficult part for all of this, for all of the University of Arkansas and all of them. This is revenue loss that will never be made up. You may have better years ahead. Don't get me wrong. Down the road, there may be more prosperous years, but this isn't money that you still got goods sitting in the warehouse, and eventually we'll sell that inventory. That isn't how it works. And when you're selling tickets,
it's wrong.
All spoiled inventory now.
You're the finance guy of the program. I don't anticipate the Arkansas Razorbacks athletics department in the next few years making 25 or 30 million more than they originally projected. I don't see.
I don't know where it would
happening.
come from.
I don't either, and I don't think. That,
well, I can tell you where some of it will. True and not true. When we get, 3-4 years from now, and the new arrangement with ESPN kicks in, you'll get a small slice of that, but it won't be anywhere near $20 or $25 million per school. It will be slightly more than that for the Cole Conference. Then you'll get your take on that. So TV revenues will go up, conference distributions will go up, but I would imagine that even in the short term, those are going to be down just maybe a little bit, just because you haven't had some of the postseason things and bowl games that were canceled and things like that go into that pot as well. So, and I just wonder how much cord cutting is going to really affect some of the SEC network money as well over the next year to 3 years.
How much do you think a national championship is worth to a school? Not just the athletics department, but a school overall. We've spoken to how Alabama's enrollment has increased dramatically since Nick Saban arrived and they started competing and winning national titles. How much would a national title in one of the four major sports be? And I know football would be the most. How much money do you think that's worth to Arkansas, Tommy?
30 to 50 million.
So there it is. There's where you make it up. Yeah. You hear that, Coach Pittman? You hear that, Coach Neighbors? You hear that, Mush? You hear that, DVH? All you got to do to make up the athletics department deficit is win a national championship. It's that simple.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, it's that simple. We're off and running on a Friday edition here on the Morning Rush. A lot to get to, as I spoke to in the open. A lot of good games this weekend. Two in particular, NFL, AFC, NFC Championship. Josh Allen against Patrick Mahomes. Aaron Rodgers against Tom Brady. Also, we'll get into some quick hitting headlines as well as your favorite moments from the 2020 Arkansas football season. All that's coming up on the Morning Rush. Stay with us. Call and text in 877-377-6963.
Just say, Alexa, play ESPN Arkansas.
ESPN Arkansas from TuneIn.
This is former Razorback kicker Zach Hawker. You're listening to the Morning Rush.
Just watching her blonde hair sunburn, stare at them white caps rolling over.
RV Show pricing is arriving early at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV wants to invite you to skip the lines and the crowds this year and shop the industry's best brands at Northwest Arkansas's premier RV dealer. And with a lifetime warranty, RV storage, and a mobile service shuttle, owning a new RV has never been easier. RV Show pricing beginning now at Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Hi, I'm Bill Bolton of NWA Gold, Silver, and Coins. I started in this business in 1972 at an auction house that specialized in antique and estate jewelry, sterling silver, and coins. In that time, I've seen gold go from $35 an ounce to today's price of $1,683. I want to talk to you about the coins you may have inherited and how important it is to deal with someone who understands coins and this market. In 2011, we had a mother and daughter come into our store and sell us a lot of jewelry they no longer wore for $3,300. The daughter then pulled out an 1850 California $10 gold piece. Jeremy offered her $900 and she accepted his offer. He then advised her to have this coin graded. She did, and she sold it for $36,000. If you don't know what you have, please come see Jeremy in our Bentonville store. Don't sell at an auction or an estate sale and get less money. What's in your safety deposit box could be worth thousands. NWA Gold, Silver, and Coins, Bentonville, Fayetteville.
The 2020s have got to go at Harry Robinson's Salisaw Ford. 2020 Ford F-150 STX. Nearly $8,000 off. Only $33,663. 2020 Ford EcoSport Titanium. Over $5,800 off. Just $23,496. And the 2020 Ford Ranger Lariat Super Cab. Only $34,426. The 2020s are priced to go at Harry Robinson's Salisaw Ford. 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisaw.
There's an old saying, the more things change, the more they stay the same. Hi, this is Scott at Calico County. 2021 is here, and no doubt a lot has changed in the last year. But something that has stayed the same is Calico County's award-winning food. Great portions that are fresh and always cooked from scratch. Something that we have changed is improved curbside service for those of you that don't want to fight the crowds. And of course, we will never change those great cinnamon rolls that everyone loves. So for breakfast, lunch, dinner, or catering, it's Calico County, just off Rogers Avenue, behind Randall Ford.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
Hindsight is 2020, and 2020 was a brutal year that for most of it felt out of control. But you know how you can be in control? You can be in control of your job, your career, yes. In 2020, my computer career helped more people start IT careers than ever. Don't look back with 2020 hindsight next year and see yourself in that 2020 job. Take control. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
Did you invest in real estate only to find out that real estate takes up too much of your time? If you answered yes, then it's time to make a call to the experts. With more than 30 years of combined property management experience and more than 16,000 units managed, Trinity Multifamily are the ones to call. Get your life back. Call Trinity Multifamily at 479-452-1817 or online at trinitymultifamily.com. Trinity Multifamily, your teammate in the real estate game.
The weather may not always be nice outside, but it's always nice inside. Keep your game sharp no matter the season on the TrackMan Simulator only at the Golf Nut. This is the same technology used on the PGA Tour for ball tracking on TV. The world's top players trust TrackMan when it comes down to data accuracy, and you can too. The Golf Nut, 5121 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith's #1 golf shop since 1994. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook for daily specials. The Golf Nut.
Achieve your health and wellness goals in 2021 with a fantasy spa or a complete endless pool fitness system from Burton Pools and Spas. Hi, Tommy Kraft here. There's no better way to start a new year out than with a spa or a great place to get your exercise every day with an endless pool fitness system. And the experts are at Burton Pools and Spas. Hot tubs start at $28.95 and there's 28 different models to choose from. And I love what I read about the endless pool fitness systems. Great way to get your exercise in. Boundless fitness, year-round swimming, and you can get swimming, which is great exercise in your own backyard every day. And when it comes from Burton's, you can count on delivery, complete setup, and total installation from Burton's. Read more online at burtonpools.com or stop in Fort Smith or in Springdale in Northwest Arkansas for all of the details. New spas and endless pool fitness systems from Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith, and always online at burtonpools.com. Happy New Year from Burton Pools and Spas, your source for backyard fun.
ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
Jump hook, Connor blocked it. Note out of there with it. Hogs look to push. JD, top of the circle, away to Moody. Moses, step back, 3 on the way, and it's good.
All your favorite podcasts in one place. The Hit That Line Podcast Network. Just search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts.
Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady. I mean, these are some of the more polarizing quarterbacks in the National Football League. And we get to watch them match up this weekend. Tommy, I'm really excited about it. And it, like you said, it's one of your favorite weekends in the year, man. And we will get to this coming up in just one sec.
And we're brought to you by Standard Materials Group. They have immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in the Northwest Arkansas area. So if you have a CDL license with no automatic restriction and you want to be home every night, you want to work with a great company that offers great pay, great benefits, a great team environment with growth opportunities. Hey, apply today, jobs.crh.com. That's where you go and start the process. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
This Super Bowl that we're going to get to see in a little over 2 weeks is going to be fun regardless. There's not really a matchup like, man, that kind of stinks. I think the lowest matchup I'll let you answer this first. What would be the least appealing Super Bowl matchup to you, Tommy?
Ooh, probably Bills Buccaneers.
Okay, that's where I went to. Here's why I think that still has some intrigue. Josh Allen grew up a Patriots fan. Now, I agree 100%. I think it's fourth on the list, but they can still play into that. You can still play into the idea Brady is going for another Super Bowl, and he's doing it against a young rookie. It's still fourth on the list, but Tommy, there's still, to me, that's still like a really fun Super Bowl, right? Like, of these 4 teams remaining, there's not a matchup that you're just like, man, I really, really hope that this doesn't happen.
And you could make the case that even Green Bay taking on Buffalo might have that because Tom Brady brings so much clout to any Super Bowl because he's been there. And there's always the angle, and he'll suffocate everything about Tom Brady. But, you know, if he could win this Super Bowl, being a year removed from Belichick, you know, that whole debate of chicken or egg with him and Belichick would certainly be a main topic of conversation in the 2 weeks leading up. So you could even make the case that Green Bay might be a little more boring conversation compared to Tom Terrific and what that would be for 2 weeks.
So let's flip it. The best matchup. Now, I think, been pretty outspoken. The best matchup to me, and I might be in the minority on this, but I want to see the Bucs and the Chiefs. Now, I think the Packers are going to win the game, but to me, Brady has a slightly more appeal going up against Mahomes than Rodgers does. Now, I think the Packers and Aaron Rodgers would have a better chance to beat Kansas City. But the storylines to me, Tommy, you think about that. There's just so – and you brought up the Belichick-Brady comparison. There are so many different parts, different storylines that sports media members can pull out of a pinch. Because remember, let's go back 2 years ago, man. In Foxborough, Brady Mahomes, the young Patrick Mahomes storming into the league. They lose in overtime based on Brady and company just getting the ball first. That game goes into a zillion overtimes if it's college rules. that to me, with just everything on the line in Tampa too, man, that would just be I think that would draw so many eyes, so much attention, and that would have the potential to be one of the highest-rated Super Bowls we've seen, at least in my lifetime.
Oh, I think the NFL and, let's see, CBS has the Super Bowl this year. They've got to feel really good about their odds of having a matchup that's really going to bring in, you're always going to get the P1 sports fan, the guy that watches the NFL every week. You're going to get probably the college football fan. How do you get my mom to watch? How do you get my wife interested?
Cute Tom Brady, man. That's how you get her.
Tom Brady being in there. Aaron Rodgers this weekend. Obviously, they can't both be in the Super Bowl. But you put Mahomes against Rodgers, Mahomes against – I think it brings in that fringe element that can get you that massive Super Bowl audience that we know this game's capable of creating.
When you look at the quarterbacks, we were discussing this before we came on. You think Josh Allen has the most to gain out of this weekend. Why would you say that?
Well, he's not in the club. I mean, you look at the other three quarterbacks. Mahomes won the Super Bowl last year. Tom Brady's won six Super Bowls that he's got. And then Aaron Rodgers already has one. So who's the one guy at the party that doesn't have a Super Bowl ring? Josh Allen. So he's got clearly they got the most to gain this weekend.
Here's what I would say, because a lot of what you just said is correct, and there's not a lot of arguable points there. You can make a case for each guy, right? Josh Allen, you just did it for him. Let's go to Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, people say that he might be the most talented quarterback to ever play, but they don't think he's the greatest. He beats Tom Brady and then follows it up and beats Patrick Mahomes. Then, that's two of the best quarterbacks in the past 2 decades, maybe the greatest ever in Tom Brady. You get to that conversation, that pushes him. But Tommy, you got to remember, they drafted Jordan Love, his apparent replacement. That's what Matt LaFleur and company did. And then he goes out and has one of his best years to date. Mm-hmm. That's what Aaron Rodgers did. Then flip it. Let's say that Tom Brady, you know what? You just brought it up. Belichick. No. Bill Belichick is not the reason we won those Super Bowls in New England. I'm the reason we won those Super Bowls in New England. And not only am I going to get to an AFC championship game like Joe Montana did with the Kansas City Chiefs after leaving the 49ers, I'm going to go win a Super Bowl in 2 weeks after and prove that it wasn't just about Bill Belichick, it was about me. Then Patrick Mahomes, the young kid, the guy that's already won an MVP, already won a Super Bowl. Oh, by the way, I'm going to follow it up with another Super Bowl, Tommy. And I'm going to prove to the rest of the National Football League that the Super Bowl goes through Kansas City. And it's not going to be the next 5 years. It's going to be the next 10 years.
Yeah. Those make some cases, but still, in the end, for me, and maybe I'm just defending my position here with you on this segment, getting in a position to have a ring against guys that already have one is still the most to gain. I mean, once you have one, you're at least a Super Bowl winning quarterback. Mm-hmm. You've at least played in a Super Bowl. Quarterbacks don't often get to the Hall of Fame unless they at least played in Super Bowls, right? So, I mean, this is some validation you got to have if you're going to have a Hall of Fame caliber career. Is you got to find a way to get past this weekend and get to the big game and at least be in some Super Bowls. So, to me, that's what Josh Allen has at stake.
Regardless of what happens, it's going to be very intriguing, very compelling, and even if you're just a casual NFL fan, like Clay Henry told us, and we'll talk more with the publisher of Hogs Illustrated coming up, he doesn't really watch the NFL until this weekend, and maybe some of you are like that as well. I'm telling you, you're going to want to tune in to CBS and Fox this weekend because Nance and Buck, they're going to have some great games to call. 877-377-6963, the number to call or text in. Coming up in the program, we will get into some quick-hitting headlines and really dive in more into what Hunter Yurachek had to say to Arkansas and U yesterday.
Just say, Alexa, play ESPN Arkansas.
ESPN Arkansas from TuneIn.
This is Governor Asa Hutchinson, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
The Toyota Tundra and Toyota Tacoma. Load them up with all your favorite stuff.
Don't forget those sleeping bags.
And take off on your next epic weekend. Toyota trucks are made to go anywhere.
Hey, help me with these ATVs.
And do all the things you love doing. And when your day winds down, one thing is...
This is Pastor Heath from Woodland. I know some of these ads make you glad, but most probably make you mad. The reason is people believe the lie that heals is better than the truth that hurts. Our purpose at Woodland is to risk the hurt by exposing the lies so you can be wise unto salvation. If you'd like to know more, check out our website, woodlandpeople.church. There you can download our app and listen to our podcast. That's woodlandpeople.church.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
That's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sacalé, paper mouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Of anxiously waiting for her. Today is the day you finally bring home your new car. It's also the day to protect her with an auto policy from Shelter Insurance. Our policies are competitively priced and include new car replacement coverage if anything were to happen to your new baby.
Ask Shelter Agent Wade Gilkey about renter's insurance.
The bloodline of any modern business is their computer network, data storage, and supporting hardware. So who takes care of one of the most important aspects of your business? Hashtag Managed IT Services in Van Buren can handle all your networking services like cabling, firewall, routers, and VPNs to hardware and software protection from virus and malware. Hashtag Managed IT Services in Van Buren, 479-802-4978. That's 479-802-4978. Hashtag Technology without the headache.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Would printing from your phone or tablet make your life easier? Are you emailing files to yourself so that you can print them from your desktop or laptop? The Xerox VersaLink and AltaLink lines of network printers and multifunction printers will natively print using your phone's built-in capabilities. Apple AirPrint and Google Cloud Printing just work. To order yours today, give us a call at 783-6600 or visit dixiedigital.com. Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
Fresh means fresh, as in no preservatives. That's right. If it's fresh, it doesn't need to be preserved. Try Jim's 100% premium Wisconsin cheese. Fresh whole milk mozzarella, wood smoked provolone, old world style Romano and Parmesan. The freshest all-you-can-eat salad bar in town. No preservatives and fresh every time. Fresh, fast, Jim's Razorback Pizza. At the corner of Greenwood and Gary in Fort Smith.
Happy New Year from Frank Rowe Furniture. Frank Rowe Furniture thanks all of our customers for your business in 2020. We wish everyone a prosperous new year and may God bless each and every one of you. At Frank Rowe Furniture, we strive to please our customers and carry as many made in the USA brands as possible. We are family owned and have served the River Valley since 1997. We will be praying that everyone has a blessed new year in 2021. Happy New Year from Frank Rowe Furniture. Best seats in the house.
Head to toe, it's gotta be Jelco for hard work and the great outdoors.
With quality and price and comfort you like, and savings that you're looking for.
We've got the shoes and boots, steel toes too, outerwear and a whole lot more.
Head to toe, it's gotta be Jelco
for hard work and the great outdoors.
Building a home can be stressful. This is true whether you're the homeowner or the contractor. Many times these issues result in a lawsuit. If you are a homeowner or a contractor and find yourself needing legal help, call the attorneys at Kevin Hickey Law Partners. With experience representing homeowners as well as non-payment or other issues that could arise during construction. Contact Brad Hull or Kevin Hickey at 479-434-2414 in the River Valley or 479-802-6560 in Northwest Arkansas. Or check them out at the web at artriallawyers.com.
ESPN 95.3.
Good morning to the Morning Rush, everybody.
5 to shoot. Sills way out on the floor. Right wing. Deep three. Good from Desi. Wow. Sills has got 16.
Follow the show on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine.
Quick and headlines coming up here on the Morning Rush. We'll dive into more of what Hunter Yurachek had to say to you, the Arkansas fans, as well as some NFL news and NBA news, and then your favorite moments from the 2020 Arkansas football season. All that is on the way. And Tommy, we're discussing the great games this weekend, and if you're hosting or if you want to go watch the game somewhere, there's only one place to do it, buddy.
Buffalo Wild Wings in Fort Smith, Conway, Sherwood, Little Rock, and Jonesboro makes it easy. Whether you're tailgating from home or you're looking for a place to get your sports on, they've got the Bowl Bundle starting at $39.99 that will feed your crew with 20 traditional wings, 20 boneless wings, and a big order of fries starting at just $39.99. So great weekend to load up on Buffalo Wild Wings and get ready for both games on Sunday with the big bowl bundle. That's $39.99 for 40 wings and fries. Celebrate the win with Buffalo Wild Wings. Again, Fort Smith, Conway, Sherwood, Little Rock, and Jonesboro. Order online or dine in at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Some positive news, some negative news that came out of Hunter Yurachek's press conference yesterday with the Arkansas media. Let's start with the positive news. Tommy, 0 positive COVID cases across their 12 sports up at the U of A, as he told us yesterday. Anytime you hear that, man, that's got to feel good, right?
Well, it tells you that the coaches, first of all, it's the right message from the top down, starting with Hunter Yurachek and the plan they have in place. But it tells you that the players and the coaches and the staffs have bought in, and they're doing everything within their power to keep themselves and their teammates safe so they can play these games. So tells me that it's been a great effort from top to bottom to get everybody on the same page and doing, the tedious, mundane, routine task. I mean, nobody likes to be reminded to use hand sanitizer 25 times a day. No one likes to be reminded to have to wear their mask all the time everywhere you're at indoors, and all these teammates. But all of these things are what allow you to continue to play a lot of these games and not be in a situation like Vanderbilt's been in this week.
Speaking of Vanderbilt, Tommy, there were some questions about if this game between the Hogs and the Commodores would be played in Memorial tomorrow. Hunter Yurachek told us yesterday, as well as Eric Musselman, that they had heard that the game was still on. And that was as of yesterday. I hope we don't get an email from the SEC office saying the game has been postponed as I'm here, but we're just going to have to wait and see. But positive from that perspective, we'll just have to wait and see if there's any announcement from Birmingham in regards to the Vanderbilt-Arkansas game tomorrow.
Now, I don't know what time the team is planning to travel and leave for Nashville, but you would assume that there would be a final decision on whether or not the game is going to play or not be played before you get on a plane and fly, and fly to Nashville. So I would imagine some form of a final decision will be made later this morning, middle of the day. I don't know what time the team is flying, but I would imagine being a noon game tomorrow, it won't be late in the day today. So.
It's kind of surreal, Tommy, because this is where it all began, not just for Arkansas, but for everyone last year. Man, I was here when everything kind of hit the fan and they canceled the SEC tournament. They canceled the NCAA tournament. And Eric Musselman was asked about that by Bob Holt and some other people yesterday. It's got to be a little weird coming back. He says it felt like a lifetime ago to be back in, because that would have been in March. Yep. I want to see this game played for obvious reasons, and I hope that you don't get a bad update from Birmingham today.
Well, hopefully not. And I know Vanderbilt has limited it to friends and family. Very small crowds of less than 100 have been there at Memorial Coliseum, Memorial Gymnasium to watch their games. They've been really cautious compared to the other schools in the league that have allowed a few thousand in, like Arkansas, that's allowing 4,000 in, a fraction of your capacity. Vanderbilt's had the most narrow, restrictive policy on fan attendance and family attendance.
You bring up attendance, Tommy. Hunter Yurachek was asked, hey, what is this going to look like in fall? Well, he said he anticipates a full attendance for fall football this season. Now, we know that's subject to change. He also mentioned there could be increased attendance for baseball depending on how things go. And that made me think, Tommy, the biggest game at home this season is actually not a conference game. It's the non-conference game when you take on Clay Henry's favorite team, the Texas Longhorns. Do you anticipate if it's a full go, if there's no restrictions from a COVID perspective, you think they pack 80,000 in there, that game?
I don't know. I mean, even without restrictions, there's still going to be some apprehension from a lot of people about piling into sports venues.
That's fair.
And apprehension about sitting shoulder to shoulder with someone you may not know. I think the long-term effects of what we've been through the last 13 or 9 months, 10 months, since March last year, 11 months, is not going away quickly. As much as we'd like to think the Arkansas-Texas game would pack that stadium, and let's hope you're in a position that that's an option. I'm still not sure that would happen just based on there's going to be a big part of the fan base and season ticket holders are people in their 60s, mid-60s, late 60s, 70s. They may not be as quick to return just because of health concerns.
You mentioned the effect, Tommy. It's had quite an effect on athletic departments across the country, and it has not passed over the Arkansas one. Arkansas, Hunter Yurachek and his staff projected they were going to lose about $20-25 million in revenue. Well, Tommy, that number is more about 25 to 30 is what he told us yesterday. And we've talked about how some of the employees, longtime employees at the University of Arkansas had to early retire, really forced early retirement. That's money that they're not going to be making up anytime soon, man.
No, I mean, these, when your revenue is derived and generally supplied through ticket sales with the university, a big chunk of your money, no one's buying the tickets for the games that didn't happen. No one's coming back. This isn't a warehouse where, we'll just store these widgets until the market improves and we can sell them. There is no warehouse for these tickets to sit in, and then there's a market for them down the road. I mean, they spoil and they perish as the days go by, as the hours go by. So, yeah, exactly. This is $25 or $30 million of ticket sales revenue that there is no plan, there is no path to make it up because we're not going back and playing the games again. So you hope maybe you can have some success, maybe make up some of the money through donations and gifting and in other revenue streams, but you won't make up the ticket sales, that's for sure.
Let's get into what Hunter had to say about this football enhancement fund, because this is something I was not aware of to this point, Tommy. Now, he was discussing just how it went down with Morris and everything there. Had you heard about the football enhancement fund to this point before yesterday?
No, this was some new information.
Okay, yeah. So here is what Hunter said yesterday about just what this was in regards to money and what went down with Chad Morris and why he made that decision to let Chad Morris go.
When I let Coach Morris go, I anticipated that we were going to have some financial hardships prior to COVID just because we were going to have to pay Coach Morris out. That was no longer the foundation responsibility. We had Coach Chavis and a couple other coaches in retainer. And I went out and met with several of our donors and created through our Razorback Foundation what I called the Football Enhancement Fund that would provide Coach Pittman the opportunity to spend those resources to hire and retain the best coaches, to buy any type of equipment he needed for the Smith Center, and to recruit where that didn't have to come from an operational budget. And then when COVID hit, it was more than necessary. And so the raises that were given to Coach Odom and any of his other staff members, they're coming right now, for at least for the next 2 years, from that football enhancement fund, not coming from any operational dollars.
Tommy, props to Hunter for having the foresight. Now, I don't think he predicted COVID by any means, but that little piggy bank, it definitely helped in a situation where they needed it more than ever.
Well, now I know why we didn't know about it. They were only talking to people that had real money about this thing, so that's why we didn't know anything about it. So this was a fundraising effort that they've been putting on, and this was Yeah, you're exactly right. It's good foresight, good planning, and it also makes you, I guess, if you're an employee that you've worked in the athletic department for 20 years and you're one of these jobs that maybe have gotten downsized. That's never an easy thing to deal with when you're forced into early retirement. But then it's also not easy when you look and well, the defensive coordinator, the offensive line coach just got $100,000 raise. Well, I only make 60. I got fired. Well, I don't know if it softens the blow any, but at least maybe you can, at some point, if you're that employee, you're that person inside the athletic department, understand and come to the rationale. Well, that money came from private donations elsewhere.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you're the one losing your job, that probably doesn't make you feel any better. But at least to some fans that would empathize with that situation, makes you rationalize it a little more.
Want you all to start pondering your favorite moment from the 2020 Arkansas football season. We're going to get to that conversation in about 5 minutes. Some NFL news for you real quick. Andy Reid said that Patrick Mahomes took the majority of the offensive snaps in practice yesterday. He's looking like he's going to participate. And a lot of people have been wondering in regards to the Kansas City Chiefs, hey, what's the outlook of the offensive coordinator position going to be if Eric Bieniemy goes somewhere else? I think there's only one vacant job currently. The Eagles just filled theirs with the Indianapolis Colts OC. Here's what Eric Bieniemy had to say on the prospect of him becoming a head football coach in the NFL.
It's always good to be mentioned and having an opportunity to pursue your dreams. And obviously, yes, I do want to be a head coach. But when it's all said and done with, my job is to make sure everything that we're doing right now is not to take away from the goals that we're trying to accomplish. The only thing that matters today, we got better. Okay, today we had an opportunity to make sure we can take care of situational football as far as short yardage, goal line, and our third down situations. So now it's time for us to go back in and chop wood, watch this tape, and get ready for the next day. We want to make sure that we're getting our guys ready to make sure they can take care of business on Sunday. My own personal business, when all that's time to take care of itself, that will take care of itself. But thanks for asking.
Tommy, he might be the only chip left that the Houston Texans have in order to keep Deshaun Watson. This is a guy that, based on that soundbite and based on what people said, I mean, Andy Reid, whether it's Doug Peterson, Andy Reid has a track record of assistants becoming head coaches. And Bieniemy, I'm surprised he's not been hired to this point by another NFL franchise.
I don't know if you heard Keyshawn Johnson. I was listening to the show that precedes us on most of these stations coming in this morning, and I thought Keyshawn had an interesting point that, hey, what if the Chiefs win another Super Bowl this year, and Andy Reid decides, I'm going to retire for a little while. I'm going to spend time with family and ride off into the sunset. And Bieniemy, by having this timing kind of work against him in some ways for other opportunities, becomes the head coach of the Chiefs as a result of all this. I don't think that's a likely scenario, but I thought it was an interesting conversation this morning that there's nothing to say that Andy Reid, I mean, why would you not ride off into the sunset or at least contemplate that if you won back-to-back Super Bowls?
It's a good point. I had not thought of that theory either.
I neither.
And where would you?
I thought it was an interesting point he made though this morning that, you went back to. I mean, what else is there for you to do? I mean, now yes, you could go, after Belichick's numbers and all that. I don't know that Kansas City's going to create the kind of dynasty that we saw with New England for all those years, and I don't know that that's Andy Reid's goal. But you win a couple Super Bowls in 2 seasons. Spending more time with family might become a little more attractive in a few weeks.
And as much as I love Deshaun Watson, Tommy, and Houston just doesn't have any draft picks, and the Kansas City job, I would much rather hold out for that with Mahomes, the Legion of Zoom, and that whole organization, the Hunts. And it's been definitely fun being the home of the Kansas City Chiefs on ESPN 104.3 and 95.3. Now, last NFL tidbit for you. Cameron Curl, we've talked about him. He was an all-rookie this year in the National Football League. Guy had 37 stops in 2020. Tommy, he's the only rookie safety to do that in the pro football era since 2006. I don't know if we've given Cam Curl enough airtime this year based on how he's played. I mean, it wasn't highly drafted, and he has been a great player for that really salty Washington football team defense, who we know Bruce Stanton is very fond of.
Yeah, and be interesting. I didn't hear all of what I had to look at something else here in the studio, so I got distracted for just a moment. But yeah, so carry on. I was having to deal with Jenkins on something there.
No, it's okay. So Curl just had a really good season this year, and the Washington football team, he's going to be a bright young player. Hey, make sure you're subscribing to the Hit That Line podcast network, whether it's the Morning Rush, Halftime, Primetime Preps, the Hot Talk podcast. Had a great conversation with Steve Sullivan, who's the sports director at KTV, on trusting the process. Tommy, we talked about you. We talked about a variety of things.
We talked about me. That had to be the most boring part of the podcast.
It was. I was trying to prop it up, but you didn't let me do it. But it was a great conversation, and I encourage you to watch it. Danny West of Hog Sports is going to be our guest next week.
All right, all those headlines are brought to you by Baxter Regional Medical Center in Mountain Home. All the state and CDC guidelines are followed to a T every day. They want to keep you and your family safe. They're committed to providing excellent care to every patient every time. So they remind you again, wear your mask when you're out in public, maintain the 6 feet of social distancing. We got a ways to go to get through this COVID-19 pandemic right now. Get all the guidelines and find out what is going on at Baxter Regional Medical Center. You can follow them on Facebook or go to baxterregional.org/coronavirus. That's baxterregional.org/coronavirus for all the updates with Baxter Regional Medical Center.
So looking ahead to this 2021 football season, you're going to play 6 teams in ESPN's Way Too Early Top 25. And Hunter Yurachek spoke yesterday that the schedule was maybe the toughest in college football history. He's not the only one that said that, but it definitely has been a thought process, not only inside the state of Arkansas, but outside. But despite all of the things working against you, new coach, tough schedule, COVID year, there were a lot of bright moments from this season. And if you look at it, you had the potential to win 6 football games.
Yeah.
You were that close in the Missouri game, in the LSU game, and what game am I missing? What was the other close game? Top of my head.
Missouri, LSU, Auburn.
Auburn,
you should have won at the end.
The one I'm still the most frustrated about. The bright spots, though, there were a bunch of them. Tommy, what was one of your favorite moments from the 2020 Arkansas football season? Not just Tommy. I encourage all of you to hop in this morning. Call or text 877-377-6963.
I don't know if it's to me one of the best moments, and it felt good because you kind of came back from behind, is the way that Tennessee game unfolded. Now, in the end, is that your best win or maybe your best performance? I don't know. I thought that third quarter of the Tennessee game was sure a lot of fun. After you'd fallen behind, to come storming back, to do that in front of your home crowd, in your home stadium. I really enjoyed that third quarter of the Tennessee game probably as much as any part of this season.
So you mentioned the third quarter. That was incredible. So I had a habit this season, Tommy. I'd send the press box for the first half, and then I'd have a friend or a Morning Rush listener text me, hey, come here and watch the game. Come here and watch the game inside the stadium. And so I'd venture over and watch the game with the Morning Rush listener. And I went and sat in my buddy Brent's box, and I was planning on going back and just going back to the press box in the middle of the third quarter. And all of them said, no. As soon as you got there, Arkansas started scoring, so you got to stay there.
Yeah.
So that was the process that we went through during that game. And my goodness gracious, you think about that third quarter, you think about the Jalen Catalon interception. What defensive lineman had a pick in that game? You remember? I'm trying to think of who it was. Was it Eric Gregory?
That may be right.
That had the INT.
I just know you had 24 points in that quarter.
Yes.
It just kind of all came together. Like 3 touchdown passes in that quarter. I mean, it's just like an explosion all of a sudden of after trailing 13-0, you thought, oh boy, we're going to lose to a very mediocre Tennessee team here on our home field, and then just boom, it came out of. I don't want to say came out of nowhere, but they opened up a can real quick. So
I've told you that beating Texas A&M is what I desire most when it comes to the Arkansas football team. I hate that school more than I hate anything in life itself. Ole Miss is up on the pecking order as well. And when you're from Little Rock, Tommy, there's a lot of Ole Miss connections there. Like Brett Norsworthy, who's from northeast Arkansas, he'll tell you there's a lot of Ole Miss Arkansas connections there. There is in central Arkansas as well because of how close Oxford is to that area. And so there's a lot of animosity between me and some Morning Rush Ole Miss listeners. So anytime you can beat the Rebels in anything, baseball, football, basketball, it's satisfying, it's gratifying. And the manner and the form of fashion in which the Arkansas defense was able to manhandle Matt Corral during that game was incredible. I spoke to leaving the Tennessee game at halftime from the press box and going down. My brother came up for that game. He lives in Dallas, and he makes himself up for 1 or 2 games a year, and he loves beating Ole Miss more than anything else in the world. And I'm sitting next to him, and he's a few Michelobs deep at this point. I'm sober because I'm still technically working. Mm-hmm. And I have never seen an Arkansas fan more excited than when Grant Morgan picked that ball off and stuck it in the end zone. Tommy, that I know there was 18,000 in that stadium that day, but there was a sonic boom that exploded when Grant Morgan picked it off with one arm, by the way, and took it to the house.
Yeah, and I think for a lot of fans, just seeing some signs, some flashes of looking like you belong in the SEC just felt so good this year because it's been 2 years of looking like we're in the wrong conference. We're in the wrong league. We don't even belong in Power 5 football the way this program has performed. So it just felt good to see more than a few flashes of, okay, there is light at the end of the tunnel, and it's not a freight train going to run over all of us. That Sam Pittman, I think, plays like that, moments like that, where you even see him. We talked about some of these close games you should have won. You feel like, yes, the right hire has been made, the right direction, the right path is where we're on right now, and you can see that maybe not in 2021, but by 2022, 2023. This is going to be a very competitive SEC level football program.
Hunter Yurachek talked about yesterday that he had the expectations that he had for Sam Pittman. He thought he overdid him. I thought JT in Hot Springs brings up a good point. He goes back to the first touchdown of the year from Felipe Franks to Traylon Burks, where he finds him rolling out and Burks takes it to the house. He felt like at that moment they looked more like an SEC football team than the 2 years under Morris. And I think that's a great point, and I know that wasn't the outcome you wanted, especially in the second half, but that's definitely one that stands out, and I think JT in Hot Springs brings up a good point. Tommy, you brought up just the feeling of getting over the hump. Well, that's what Nate brings up here on our text line, beating Mississippi State and breaking that streak. Now, you and I were watching the game together, and KJ Costello throws those 3 interceptions, and the Arkansas defense comes to play, and the joy I could hear from Chuck Barrett and Quinn Grovey during the final call of that game was masterful, incredible, and it really, I mean, the post-game show that night, Hog Reaction, was unbelievable.
All right, we'll have some more of this football conversation with Clay Henry. He's going to join us on the other side of the break. Coming up in the third hour, we'll get you ready for Oakland opening weekend. Starts today. The opening of the 21 meet is today. So we'll talk about that with our guy Lane Whitman coming up later on in the show. We're brought to you by World of Wireless, 877-305-DISH. That's 877-305-3474. Get a 2-year price guarantee when you make the move to DISH. 3 TVs in your house you can have for less than $80 a month. And Ben and World of Wireless will throw in a $100 Visa gift card. They'll even get you installed before the weekend is up if you'll call WOW now. 877-305-DISH for WOW World of Wireless.
A lot to talk about. Hour number 2. Stay with us. It's the Morning Rush.
The best deals on hot tubs and endless pools in Fort Smith and Northwest Arkansas is at Burton Pools and Spas. Achieve your health and wellness goals in 2021 with a fantasy spa starting at just $28.95 with 28 selections to choose from. Or the endless pool fitness systems. They give you boundless fitness with swimming year-round. Delivered, installed, and ready to use from Burton Pools and Spas. Burton Pools and Spas in Fort Smith and in Northwest Arkansas. Burton Pools and Spas, your source for backyard fun.
Hi, I'm Bill Bolton of NWA Gold, Silver, and Coins. I started in this business in 1972 at an auction house that specialized in antique and estate jewelry, sterling silver, and coins. In that time, I've seen gold go from $35 an ounce to today's price of $1,683. I want to talk to you about the coins you may have inherited and how important it is to deal with someone who understands coins and this market. In 2011, we had a mother and daughter come into our store and sell us a lot of jewelry they no longer wore for $3,300. The daughter then pulled out an 1850 California $10 gold piece. Jeremy offered her $900 and she accepted his offer. He then advised her to have this coin graded. She did, and she sold it for $36,000. If you don't know what you have, please come see Jeremy in our Bentonville store. Don't sell it in an auction or an estate sale and get less money. What's in your safety deposit box could be worth thousands. NWA Gold, Silver, and Coins, Bentonville, Fayetteville.
RV show pricing is arriving early at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV wants to invite you to skip the lines and the crowds this year and shop the industry's best brands at Northwest Arkansas's premier RV dealer. And with a lifetime warranty, RV storage, and a mobile service shuttle, owning a new RV has never been easier. RV show pricing beginning now at Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
The weather may not always be nice outside, but it's always nice inside. Keep your game sharp no matter the season on the TrackMan Simulator only at the Golf Nut. This is the same technology used on the PGA Tour for ball tracking on TV. The world's top players trust TrackMan when it comes down to data accuracy, and you can too. The Golf Nut, 5121 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith's #1 golf shop since 1994. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook for daily specials. The Golf Nut.
Who's ready for a nicer, newer year? I sure am. Hi, folks. Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources. 2020 is finally over, and I'm ready to celebrate with terrific savings on a huge inventory of Rath road-ready vehicles, each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center. If you're waiting on your tax refund, come in today. Our Tax Max program can get you access to your money now. Owe more than your trade is worth? My transparent trade appraisal process can help with that by getting you up to $3,150 extra for your trade. Got past credit problems? My For the People credit approval process can get you approved and driving your nicer, newer car today. If you're keeping the car you have, let us take care of it for you in our Meineke Car Care Center with a basic oil change starting at just $24.95, half off brakes, and buy 3 get 1 free on all tires. Start your nicer, newer year in a nicer, newer car from Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources, and the Meineke Car Care Center. A better way to drive. 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online at rathauto.com.
Are you looking for a new place to call home? Whether you're looking for an apartment, duplex, townhome, or a house, Trinity Multifamily has you covered. They even have options in surrounding states, from Texas to Michigan and Kansas to Tennessee. If you're looking for a new place to call home, make Trinity Multifamily your first call at 479-452-1817. That's 479-452-1817. Or online at trinitymultifamily.com to search rental properties near you.
They say, trust the process. But if enjoyment isn't part of that process, don't trust the process. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. AB Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
New Bud Light Seltzer?
Yep.
A hard seltzer with a hint of fruit flavor.
Yep.
Can I try one?
Yep.
That tastes great.
Told you.
Bud Light Seltzer, unquestionably good. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Seltzer, IRC Beers, beer in Texas, St. Louis, Missouri.
Have you ever been to River City Bistro for a brunch on the weekends? Every Saturday and Sunday, River City is open at 10 a.m. with a special brunch menu. Eggs and omelets any way you like. Premium bacon, sausage and ham, waffles, eggs Benedict, and a great drink menu featuring mimosas, Bloody Marys, and all your brunch favorites. We will see you for brunch every Saturday and Sunday starting at 10 a.m. at River City Bistro, 7320 Rogers Avenue in the Stonewood Village Shopping Center.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Partly to mostly sunny sky. Our high today in the upper 40s north, mid-50s further south. Clear and colder tonight, and overnight low in the middle to upper 20s. And then Saturday, partly to mostly sunny. Our high in the middle to upper 40s. We're looking at showers as we head through Sunday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Hey, it's Mike Greenberg. Be sure to listen to The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft every weekday, 6 to 9.
You're listening to The Morning Rush live from the Busch Light Studios on ESPN 95.3 KERX Paris Fort Smith.
Corral is in the gun. Boucher creeping up to the line on the other side. Now he drops back. Corral's going to throw. Short over the middle. Intercepted. Grant Morgan at the 20. Morgan to the 10-yard line. To the 5. Touchdown, Arkansas. Grant Morgan with a nifty move at the 5-yard line. And the Razorbacks score.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
You're causing a major disturbance on my time.
If I'm here and you're here, doesn't that make it our time?
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station. Streaming live from hitthatline.com.
There's a lot of lions, tigers, and bears, but there ain't but one Razorback. Number one.
This is The Morning Rush.
Borderline erotic.
With Ty Richardson.
Hi, guys.
That's cool. I can dig it.
And Tommy Kraft.
Do I look happy? What's wrong?
Lloyd!
The Morning Rush starts right now.
Got a lot to talk about in the next 2 hours of the Morning Rush, and we're going to welcome in Clay Henry, the publisher of Hogs Illustrated, coming up in just one sec. He's got some news that he broke earlier this week regarding a former Arkansas assistant. We'll talk about, got to get to this Vanderbilt game tomorrow where the Arkansas basketball team is participating. Get Clay's thoughts on what Hunter Yurachek had to say as well this morning, Tommy.
Brought to you by Burton Pools and Spas. They have the best deals on hot tubs in the River Valley and in Northwest Arkansas. If you've got health and wellness goals for this year, achieve them with a new fantasy spa, hot spring spa, or an endless pool from Burton Pools and Spas. In fact, spas start at just $28.95 with 28 different models to choose from Burton Pools and Spas. We mentioned the endless pools. Great way to get year-round fitness, year-round swimming in your own backyard. When you buy from Burton's, it comes with complete setup, delivery, setup, electrical installation, everything you need to be ready to go with Burton Pools and Spas. The setup is a value of over $5,400. They include that at no extra charge with Burton Pools and Spas. Find out more online, burtonpools.com, or stop in and see them, Springdale and in Fort Smith. Burton Pools and Spas is your source for backyard fun.
Clay, I don't want to spend the whole segment on this as we bring you into the fold, but I saw that you had mentioned and broke the story about Tim Horton going to Air Force, former Arkansas assistant. A lot of ties here, Barrett Bannister's uncle. Just real quick, what's he doing now up for the football team and Air Force in Colorado, right? Alrighty.
Yep. Colorado Springs Air Force Academy, just south of Denver. One of the prettiest places on earth.
Oh, it is.
And I think it's the third time he's been there. And he really, in my opinion, may have made a career mistake in leaving there the last time. They had just made him offensive coordinator. If you want to be a head coach, you've got to go through that routine of calling plays and showing your organization skills. And he came to Arkansas to be running back coach when Danny Nutt became ill just before the season. And, that was he won't say it was a mistake. I'm the one saying that it probably was. He might be a head coach by this time. Anyway, I'm excited for Tim. He was at Auburn, and they took him off the field and put him in an administrative post, and he left and went to Vanderbilt. And they fired their staff this past month, and so he was looking. And it's exciting news because he's going to he fits there like a glove. I mean, it's just a good spot. And I've known the Hortons forever, and my wife's from DeWitt, and her father and Don Horton married sisters, and Don Horton and Harold Horton are brothers. So Christmas was always including the Hortons or my brother Butch, when he was SID at Arkansas, he lived all across the street from Harold, and his son and Tim are best friends, and Tim, 50 years later, still sends him a Christmas card in Dallas, Texas, and a birthday card. Tim's the king of writing notes. Yep. So anyway, it's there's a lot of people in Arkansas that are fond of the Hortons, Harold and Tim, and so this is important news.
Yeah, so news on that. And Clay, you brought up Vanderbilt. That's who Arkansas is taking on tomorrow in basketball. 12 o'clock airtime here, ESPN Arkansas. HitThatLine.com, and then pregame coverage beginning at 11:30. This team has to get off to a fast start. Now, Vanderbilt is not in the same echelon, not in the same tier as Tennessee, LSU, Alabama, or even Missouri. But this is a team that's played in some close ball games this year. And if you get off to a slow start against the Commodores, like other SEC basketball teams, they can beat you tomorrow.
Without question, it's that's the bugaboo for this team, is the way they played the first 10 minutes. And I think you're going to see the rotation change, and hopefully that changes the first 10 minutes. But, the intensity of in the last 5 minutes of the first half was outstanding, and then I think they redoubled that in the second half. I'm talking about against Auburn, and so they have to bring that to the game. And if they do, I think that will serve them well. I mean, I think you go on the road in the SEC, and it's going to be a tight game. I mean, I don't see them blowing out Vanderbilt, but that's there have been some strange blowouts. I'll put it that way, but it doesn't look like on paper that's what should happen. Things develop.
Yeah, this
game keep those freshmen going. Williams, Moody, and Davis. Those three freshmen. You don't have KK Robinson. He's out with foot surgery. But it's those three freshmen. Justin Smith continued to come on. You get Desi Sills rolling like he did in the last 30 minutes, where he was attacking, not making turnovers, and you got something. You got him as the slasher, and then you got some other guys that are catch and shoot and get some points off of defensive intensity, which I thought they had.
Yeah. Just this stretch of games, I've talked about this a couple of times, that it just feels like you're going to determine kind of the path or the course you're headed on, and how well you play. You found a way to come from behind and beat Auburn. Feels like this is another game you got to win. I don't know if you got to go 3 for 3 against Auburn, Vanderbilt, and Ole Miss, but it feels like if you don't win at least 2 of them, your odds of making the tournament just get even more difficult because of how it affects your net rankings.
Well, they can win all 3 of these. They're
winnable
the main
games,
thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and they they should be able to do well at home the rest of the way. I think they're going to continue to get better, and I think Justin Smith is going to continue to get better. And I think Musselman has been searching for a rotation, and after the game the other night, I think he admitted to everybody, hey, you're going to see a set of guys, and this is what we're going to ride out the rest of the year. And I think there's some other guys that have, they've gotten some extended minutes at different times, and maybe they've excelled at some points, but at other times they've laid an egg. He's not going to give them chances to lay eggs anymore. He's seen enough of that. And I think that's, guys like J.D. Note, and he doesn't like the individualistic way he plays, and Vance Jackson he's kind of a one-dimensional player, and they're looking for guys that can do more things than that: defend, assist, and do some other things besides just shoot a 3.
Yeah, and you'd like to see Jalen Williams continue to get better as a true freshman. You'd like to see Moses continue to do what he's doing. I know that he couldn't hit a shot until the end of the last game, but there's some young guys, and then there's a core that you hope continues to to get better and better. And the rotation that you guys were both discussing, it's exactly right. It is going to get shorter and shorter. It's nice to see Justin Smith back, Tommy. He's still not 100% fully healthy on offense, got a couple shot blocks, but he did jump in the last game, and he did play a lot more minutes than he did in the previous outing.
Yeah. Hey, we're brought to you by Wheels RV. RV show pricing has arrived early at Wheels RV in Springdale. They invite you to skip the lines and the crowds this year and shop the industry's best brands at Northwest Arkansas's premier RV dealer. They have a lifetime warranty, RV storage available there on site, and a mobile service shuttle, so they make owning a new RV easier than ever at Wheels RV. RV show pricing right now at Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, and discover with Wheels RV.
We've talked finances a little bit this morning. We heard what Hunter Yurachek had to say. Have the finances been misused, and not just the University of Arkansas, but athletic directors, athletic programs across the country? We'll touch on that and some more coming up. Stay with us. It's the Morning Rush.
All your favorite podcasts in one place. The Hit That Line Podcast Network. Just search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts.
Hey everybody, this is Justin Moore, and you're listening to The Morning Rush. Woo pig.
This is the New Year offer you've been waiting for. Say goodbye to contacts, glasses, or bifocals with LASIK or clear lens exchange by Bold Vision in Northwest Arkansas. Mention ESPN for $500 off your LASIK or clear lens exchange procedure. Bold Vision is kicking off the new year by giving one person a free LASIK procedure. Feeling lucky? Enter through the giveaway post at facebook.com/VoldVision. Bold Vision, the official eye care provider of the Arkansas Razorbacks.
Standard Materials Group has immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you have a CDL license without an automatic restriction and want to be home every night, want to work with a company that offers great pay, benefits, and a great team environment with growth opportunities, apply today at jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer. Tommy Kraft here for The Fence Man, the company you can trust when it comes to building your next fence. The Fence Man recently built new gates for my existing fence. The whole process was easy, quick, and most importantly, affordable. Plus, 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available with The Fence Man. If you need a new fence, gate, or anything that involves a fence, call The Fence Man, 479-782-3936. That's 782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. Harry Robinson Buick GMC has over 200 pre-owned vehicles to choose from luxury to economy and everything in between, including over 50 great vehicles with payments under $250 a month, certain to fit your needs and your budget. And at Harry Robinson Buick GMC, you always get more for your trade. 50 vehicles with payments under $250 a month at Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11 off I-540 in Fort Smith.
A chicken wing is just a flavor missile covered in awesomeness. And at Buffalo Wild Wings, we're locked and loaded with 26 sauces and seasonings aimed right at your face. So whether you're gearing up for the sweet tang of honey barbecue, Magma Hot Blazing Carolina Reaper, or new zesty lemon pepper sauce, get ready, because your mouth's in the blast zone. 26 sauces and seasonings at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Happy New Year from Frank Rowe Furniture. Frank Rowe Furniture thanks all of our customers for your business in 2020. We wish everyone a prosperous new year, and may God bless each and every one of you. At Frank Rowe Furniture, we strive to please our customers and carry as many made in the USA brands as possible. We are family owned and have served the River Valley since 1997. We will be praying that everyone has a blessed new year in 2021. Happy New Year from Frank Rowe Furniture. Best seats in the house.
The Frozen Knuckles Challenge is back at Wheeler Power Sports. Claim up to $150 in Wheeler Power Sports cash, along with chances to win other prizes just for riding your bike this winter. The contest runs through March the 6th, so make sure every time you get on your bike, check in at Wheeler Power Sports. For more on the Frozen Knuckles Challenge, go to WheelerPowersports.com. Wheeler Power Sports is located at 901 North 11th Street near downtown Fort Smith. Wheeler Power Sports, keeping the good times rolling.
Man, I just want to ride, man. I just want to ride.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Would printing from your phone or tablet make your life easier? Are you emailing files to yourself so that you can print them from your desktop or laptop? The Xerox VersaLink and AltaLink lines of network printers and multifunction printers will natively print using your phone's built-in capabilities. Apple AirPrint and Google Cloud Printing just work. To order yours today, give us a call at 783-6600 or visit dixiedigital.com. Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
After I drop the kids off, I have to run across town for a meeting, hit the gym during lunch. Jake has soccer tonight, and Emily has gymnastics? Oh, did I turn on the crock pot this morning?
With a never-ending to-do list, it's easy to forget something important, like setting up a life insurance plan with Shelter Insurance. Your local Shelter agent can show you how to create a safety net for your family. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
Ask Randy Milam in Alma or Brad Howe in Van Buren about Shelter's home insurance.
Largemouth bass will be spawning soon at ponds and lakes all over Arkansas and Oklahoma. One of the best lures to catch them on at this time is the famous Yum Dinger. We make them by the truckloads in Fort Smith in 3, 4, 5, and 6 inch sizes, and they are in tackle boxes of bass anglers all over the U.S. and all over the world. Wacky rigging the 5-inch model can't be beat for spawning bass. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Yum Dinger.
ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
5 to shoot on the offensive end. Sills to Note, left wing, three-pointer good.
Streaming live at hitthatline.com.
Want to get into some of Hunter Yurachek's comments yesterday, what he had to say about a variety of different things, including the financial stasis right now at the University of Arkansas Athletics Department. Also want to talk about your favorite moments from the 2020 Arkansas football season. Now, Tommy, I was texting my dad a little bit yesterday, and we were talking about barbecue in Arkansas. I stopped on a place on the way here, and he told me, man, Arts is, and I'm not kidding, I'll read this text. He said Arts is one of his favorites, not just in the River Valley, but of all of Arkansas.
Well, I'm telling you, Arts Barbecue, it's amazing that because we've been able to spread the word amongst our vast audience, how many people Wade sees come in that have heard about it right here on the Morning Rush. We appreciate y'all spreading the word with Wade over there. And, hey, if you're looking for someone to help you this weekend, get your tailgating on at the house, your home gating with you and your family. You're going to watch football on Sunday. Hey, call Arts, 452-2550. They'll get racks of ribs and smoked sausage and brisket and pulled pork and sides to go with it all together so that come game time on Sunday, you're not worried about cooking anything. You're not worried about what you're going to have. Let Arts handle all of that for this weekend. So call today, and they'll have everything packaged up. You can pick it up on Saturday, and it will be an outstanding way to watch football on Sunday. Also on Saturdays, remind you that tomorrow, $1 off all burgers. They do that every Saturday, so you can stop in and have one of their great burgers, the best in town. Get $1 off that. And today is Catfish Friday, so they'll have a lunch special for catfish and the all-you-can-eat catfish special. It's all at Arts Barbecue, Rogers Avenue, next to Buddy's in Fort Smith. Get ready for your home gating this weekend with Arts Barbecue.
So we'll always talk about what the athletic director at the University of Arkansas has to say, his comments and stuff. Tommy, you and I spoke before the show that it was projected that they were going to lose $20 to $25 million worth of revenue. That number is about 25 to 30 now, based on what he told us yesterday. Let me ask you all this. When it comes to the fiscal responsibility, and this is not just applicable to Arkansas's athletic department, but athletic departments overall. You think about the fat buyouts. You think about the poor hires that have led to those buyouts having to be paid. There's often times, I don't know if saying poor stewards is the right word of what they have as far as money goes, but no one could have predicted what happened with COVID. But, I mean, we're in a situation right now with athletic departments that they're suffering across the way, but there's a lot of fat that needed to be trimmed as far as, like, just jobs that weren't needed, right? Like, do you think athletic departments across the country, we'll just stay close home to Arkansas, guys. Do you think there's more jobs, more people that work there that actually need to be? Because it's definitely not how Frank used to run it back in the day.
Well, there's no question. There's more people in the front end, but also the revenues have grown. The responsibilities of the things you have to do with media, with the SEC network and compliance, and I mean, just keep going through different departments that take more people. Now, in the Jeff Long era, the administration seemed to bloat a bit more, but it's not just at Arkansas.
Yeah,
Clay, this is something that is across the board, and I think there's models that conferences come out with, that the NCAA gives guidance on, that, hey, here's the number of people that you need to run these departments and to have enough people in compliance and to have enough people to do the various jobs. We've seen the sizes of athletic departments across the country grow over the last 15 years.
Yeah, the critical aspect of all that, Tommy, you touched on it a little. So where the revenue is coming from, that would keep them from having a losing year, which they won't next year, this is a one-off, is the incredible number of local telecasts that they do. When you're watching the basketball games now, they're done by the U of A. And, they've got the ESPN and SEC Network. They're not sending a production crew in there.
Students do it.
There is a studio in the basement of Bud Walton Arena, and that's where all the games are. And the U of A athletic department does the hiring and firing for a huge quadrant of workers. And they're the cameramen, they're the production guys, they're the graphics guys, they're everything. And so when you say that they're spending more, well, it's to get that money, and that money in a normal year would pay for all the other sports. So if you want to cut somewhere, you can start cutting sports, and nobody wants to hear that. And that's what they've done at other schools. So far, Arkansas has figured out a way not to do that, and I don't think they are going to cut sports. But it's they eliminated almost 20 jobs back in the fall of some older workers and some lifers, to be honest. And that hurt me when I saw that happen. But and I talked to some of those people, and most of them were like, "Hey, it's all right. I'm right here on top of Social Security. That's one way I can go if they decide not to work anymore." But that was a tough pill to swallow. So they have done things, and I'm sure that was a $500,000, $600,000 cash fine when they eliminated those jobs.
Probably more than that.
I don't know. I could look through there, and some of them made more than others.
Yeah.
But it's and some of those people had to be replaced, but they were replaced by younger workers that probably could command a salary half of that. So it's they're not filling positions very quickly over there either. Nope. So they're I think that if you really analyzed what they're doing at the University of Arkansas, and all the coaches elected to take the 10% cuts, every one of them, that's one of the nightmarish things that happened at Tennessee is football coaches outside of the head coach elected not to take the pay reductions.
And Fulmer got a raise. He got a raise.
Yeah, it's like no, you think that'll raise some eyebrows when businessmen are businessmen out in the community. They understand that they're making budget cuts to stay in business in COVID, and when they see the men that you have entrusted your program to say, no, you guys are going to have to continue to pay me. I know there's no money, but I'm here and I'm going to get my full check. That's what they did at Tennessee. They're not there anymore. So go figure.
Let's go back a few years. Good text from Steve in Fort Smith. The North End Zone Project, right?
Right.
So the former Senator Pryor, him and a couple, and I don't remember who else was on the, I don't know if it was committee, but they wrote that letter and were opposed to doing it. They ended up going through with it. I know those suites are paid for and stuff. How did that impact the Arkansas athletics department? Should Jeff Long have raised that money first? What is y'all's opinion on the North Enzo project and how that's affected the finances with the Arkansas athletics department?
I think if you're of the mindset that you should raise all the money before you break ground, what was that, $160 million expansion, if I remember right?
Yeah.
It's very difficult unless you have a well-heeled isn't even the right term, something beyond that, donor that's going to give you, half or more of that total. It's very hard to raise that kind of money and then sit on it, hold it, and then break ground. You'd never get it done in a lot of cases. Other needs would come up. The money would get spent on other things. That's why there are bonds. I mean, that's why you go through the bonding process to do projects of that scale and that size. So, no, I don't think it was a mistake to wait, to not wait until you had all the money. But the point that Senator Pryor was making at the time was understand the taxpayers and the people of the state of Arkansas are ultimately the ones on the hook, because the University of Arkansas, which is part of all of us as taxpayers, are the ones backing or guaranteeing these bonds.
Did they sell out the seats? Did they sell out all the seats? Because the stadium wasn't sold out prior to that, right?
No, I mean, my understanding, they sold most of the suites, but not all of the seats got sold in the new North End Zone expansion.
Okay. Clay, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think it's bond money. I mean, I don't think it's any different than, some of the other facilities that they're building. And I think they'll have plenty of ability to repay the bond, so it's not going to default to taxpayers.
No, it's not. It would be like saying, hey, you need to wait and save up till you can pay for the whole house before you buy a house. Well, most of us would never own a home, right?
That's correct.
I mean, it's essentially the same thing. A purchase of that size requires financing. An expansion of that size requires financing. There was really no other means to do it. So to save up $160 million, every month you waited to build, construction costs got higher.
I don't think.
I mean, here's my thought on it. And I think the stadium needed to be closed in. I think that was important. I think adding the elevators and some other things to help the handicap, those were important things that we considered to be non-essential, but they are. The restrooms were in dire need. They had to do some things like that. So for somebody to say, well, they built a new office building and they built luxury boxes, that's not all that they did. There's huge other areas that improved because of this. They needed a locker room. Did they need what they got? Maybe it's overkill a little bit. Now, if you walk through the Broyles Center and you see empty offices, they way overbuilt that. So. But maybe you account for you're going to have growth in administration. So, but I think that they could have cut several things that they didn't. I mean, I look at the Broyles Center and think that it is more lavish than the football offices, for instance. The football offices are bare minimum. If you go down there, those offices are tiny, the coaches' offices.
Yeah.
So you have one building that was built to cut money, and you had another building that no corners were cut. It was lavish. So that's my argument, that they didn't have to spend quite as much as they did. Yeah. So, but it's done, and I think Hunter Yurachek would tell you that it's probably a little bit overkill for some of the things that he's got. I mean, his office, which Jeff Long built, compared to Sam Pittman's office, they're not in the same tier. I mean, it's just not. One's a cubby hole, and the other one is is a heck of an office with
Taj
a
Mahal.
big patio. Yeah, so that's what I would say. And Jeff Long knew exactly what he was doing.
Yeah.
So Jeff Long got fired, and not for just that, but it was for not taking care of money. And it was not just the building; it was the money that he paid himself, the money he paid Brett Bielema, and the way he did it.
Hey, have you checked your mortgage rate lately? A lot of times people forget about the rate on your home loan after you've closed it. Arvest Bank would love the opportunity to review your current loan. Arvest has competitive rates that are able to lower your monthly payment, shorten the term of your loan, or do both. Arvest services 99% of the loans that they originate, so most of the time you can deal with any of the local branches for all of your mortgage needs. Call Arvest Bank today, 479-573-1127. Ask for Randy. That's 479-573-1127, and Randy will get you started and figure out how much money they can save you on a monthly basis. Or you can download the Home For Me app to your mobile device and search for an Arvest loan officer near you. Arvest Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
If we look back at Arkansas's 2020 college football season, there's a lot of moments that you can take away and say, man, I want to go back to that specific one. Tommy and I discussed it a little earlier, Clay. What are some of the moments, and again, our listeners, hop in 877-377-6963. What are some of the spectacular moments that stood out to you from the Arkansas 2020 college football season?
Yeah, y'all touched on some really good ones. I would say the fourth quarter at Mississippi State. The post-game celebration, that's not even a moment on the field, but I think, when you saw the way Sam celebrated and the way he talked and the way he addressed the fan base, I think that's as much a reason why the fan base jumped on board as quickly as they did.
Yep.
Behind Sam and I think y'all play that clip where he says, "We're a proud damn state," and turn on the damn jukebox, and then we do it again for the Ole Miss game, do it again for the Tennessee game. I mean, I think those are I think the first half, the third quarter against Tennessee, and Tommy, you detailed that, and so did you, Ty. But I think the first half against Ole Miss, and then the way they fought off Ole Miss with interceptions in the second half, and Grant Morgan's interception, those are significant times for Arkansas football. And I would argue that the way they played at Missouri you take away the final drive, but defensively they struggled in the fourth quarter. But to see KJ Jefferson and Treylon Burks put that team on its back and almost get another victory was encouragement for the future. It's like, hey, we know we got a quarterback in Felipe Franks, but he's going to be gone. So what's next? And then the moment that just before Christmas and just after, when you have a wave of seniors saying they're coming back, validates everything the fans thought. If you were a fan and you got on board with this team and you saw and you were a player and you played, or your son played, and you had a chance to play another year under these coaches, you'd say, I'm damn proud to do it, just like Sam Pittman said.
You keep talking to brought up the jukebox, Clay. We got to play it since you brought it up. Well, if we can do it. Hold on.
Big Suey Razorbacks! Hey! Turn that jukebox on!
Oh, man. The sound of happy Arkansas players falling to win, and Sam Pittman's phrase that he often used that's Clay, the speech itself were good. Tommy, Clay brought up a couple ones that we discussed earlier, and I know the speech he had in his opening statement when he became the U of A coach is there, the fun times that they had following wins. What are some other moments in the 2020 season that stand out to you?
Well, Clay brought up the Mississippi State game and the win there, and to think about all the emotions and the thoughts going into that game. Remember, KJ Costello was going to throw for 800 or 900 yards against Arkansas, right?
Yep.
It was just going to be a display of offense like we'd never seen put up, and Arkansas had no chance of stopping this guy who had looked like a Heisman candidate the week before against LSU. And, Barry Odom flexed some muscles. We found out a couple things. LSU wasn't as good as we thought they were, and Mississippi State wasn't as good as we thought they were based on beating LSU. So to have basically an entire state, an entire sport telling your team you've got no chance taking on this upstart, now ranked, I think, what was state ranked that week, Clay? I think they moved in the
16.
Right around the top 15. No one gave Arkansas a shot. And to basically just extinguish KJ Costello for that game and more or less expose LSU and Mississippi State for what they were at that point.
Frauds.
Was a big moment, I thought, for everybody.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and then the Auburn game. They however you want to say, they won the game, they had it robbed or whatever else, but the way they fought and played and came back at Auburn and that was significant. And I mean, Franks, set himself up for a good season with how he played on the road. And I think that all those memories go together, and just the way the team fought and how hard they played, and we clearly know they were shorthanded in many games because of COVID. It was a different offensive line, and it wasn't injuries. There was a period where they were out of cornerbacks because of COVID. The secondary was hard hit, but it was. And then the LSU game, for them to play the way they did without a defensive line. I mean, you had Jonathan Marshall and fill in the blanks. It was scout teams what it was, and if Matty had any eligibility, they would have put him out there. Is anybody that looked like they were big and could anchor a point, you played defensive line that week.
Yeah. You mentioned for the future and projecting forward, that Missouri game, though, may be the biggest moment just because you got to see what K.J. Jefferson could do. You saw a great open look of what the future of this offense could look like with him at quarterback. As far as the comfort level, I think a lot of people feel going into spring football and in the next season with Felipe Franks moving on to professional football, if it wasn't for that Missouri game, our anxiety level, our apprehension would be a whole lot higher.
Yeah, this is a rare year when basically you're returning 29, 30 starters. I mean, it's like just so they got experience, and some of those guys played a little early, but they lose Jonathan Marshall, and you can say, well, they lost Felipe Franks, but you kind of have a feeling that the young quarterbacks, whether it be Jefferson, Hornsby, or Coley, that you've got some hope there at that position, and that Kendall Briles understands what to do with them, and that they're going to have a little better depth at cornerback and ability to do some things in the secondary that we didn't see. The one thing, and I've written about this several times, so this is not something new, but the one thing that they have to get figured out is pass protection and ability to pressure the quarterback. If they can do those two things, I think you'll see them win a lot of games in the SEC. I'm not saying they're going to contend for the SEC West right off the bat, but I think you'll see a different level of team if they can rush the quarterback. And I'm not a genius or anything. That's just simple football, and they know it. We know it. So that's what's to watch going forward, is if they develop a pass rusher. If some of those young guys like Eric Gregory and Isaiah Nichols you take it, Tommy.
All right, so it ought to be fun to watch moving forward. Hey, we're before we go, brought to you by Gaston's White River Resort. 870-431-5202 is the number at Gaston's. Right now, we've been telling you for weeks, don't miss out on this opportunity. Save a bunch of money when you stay 2 or more nights. It's the winter rates. They do it all the time in January and February and part of March. You can save some money right now when you stay for the weekend or you stay a few days during the week. Doesn't matter what day of the week it is. This special is good 7 days a week when you stay 2 or more nights at Gaston's. Get one of their lodges or cabins with a fireplace, full kitchen. You can cook meals right there. That's one thing you enjoy, and you can get you a big roaring fire going at night in that big fireplace they have in those private cabins as well. 870-431-5202. Winter rates at Gaston's White River Resort. A first-class time every time.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
This is ESPN college basketball analyst and former Razorback Jimmy Dykes, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
The Toyota Tundra and Toyota Tacoma. Load them up with all your favorite stuff.
Don't forget those sleeping bags.
And take off on your next epic weekend. Toyota trucks are made to go anywhere.
Hey, help me with these ATVs.
And do all the things you love doing.
Got one.
And when your day winds down, one thing is for sure.
What a day. Let's come back next weekend.
Absolutely no.
This is Pastor Heath from Woodland. I know some of these ads make you glad, but most probably make you mad. The reason is people believe the lie that heals is better than the truth that hurts. Our purpose at Woodland is to risk the hurt by exposing the lies so you can be wise unto salvation. If you'd like to know more, check out our website, woodlandpeople.church. There you can download our app and listen to our podcast. That's woodlandpeople.church.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
That's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sockeye, paper mouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Car Care Center with a basic oil change starting at just $24.95, half off brakes, and buy 3 get 1 free on all tires. Start your nicer, newer year in a nicer, newer car from Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources, and the Meineke Car Care Center. A better way to drive. 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online at rathauto.com.
Every day, 22 of our heroes take their own life. The effects of military service can be too much.
I'll cover you. I'll cover you. Let's move.
You were ready to fight for them in war.
I got you. I got you.
Are you ready to fight for them now? If you know a veteran that could use a little help, call 1-800-542-1031 today.
There's an old saying, the more things change, the more they stay the same. Hi, this is Scott at Calico County. 2021 is here, and no doubt a lot has changed in the last year. But something that has stayed the same is Calico County's award-winning food. Great portions that are fresh and always cooked from scratch. Something that we have changed is improved curbside service for those of you that don't want to fight the crowds. And of course, we will never change those great cinnamon rolls that everyone loves. So for breakfast, lunch, dinner, or catering, it's Calico County, just off Rogers Avenue, behind Randall Ford.
Tired of constant computer issues at work? And who knows what the real problem is? Is it the router? No, it's the hardware. Wait, they said it was the software. Call Hashtag Managed IT Services. Their multifaceted approach to IT support guarantees that everything is working at optimum performance. And Hashtag prevents the small problems from becoming big issues. Hashtag Managed IT Services in Van Buren. 479-802-4978. That's 479-802-4978. Hashtag Technology without the headache.
When you've escaped the screens and the sun bathes everything in a golden glow, and your friend hands you a cold, organic beer that tastes as perfect as nature itself. That's pure gold. Michelob Ultra Pure Gold, the first national USDA-certified organic beer. Organic by nature. Enjoy responsibly. 2020 Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Pure Gold, St. Louis, Missouri.
Do you have sleep apnea? Are you tired of dealing with a CPAP every night? The noise, the constant cleaning. Your wife telling you she can't take the noise anymore. Dr. Bo Sparkman at Family Dental Care of Fort Smith can help you with sleep apnea with a custom dental appliance that allows you to get rid of that annoying CPAP. Dr. Sparkman has years of experience and has treated hundreds of patients just like you. Call for your appointment today. 785-1419. That's 785-1419. Get rid of your CPAP with Family Dental Care of Fort Smith.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
ESPN 95.3.
Good morning to the Morning Rush, everybody.
Note inside, Smith off the glass and in. He draws the foul. Note with the assist, Smith with the and one.
Just say, Alexa, play ESPN Arkansas.
ESPN Arkansas from Tuning.
Welcome back into the Morning Rush. Going to do our Fence Man Friday picks coming up with our guy Sean. Coming up in about 15 minutes, we're going to bring in Robbie Weinstein of 24/7 Sports. He covers the Vandenberg Commodores, really deeply in tune with that basketball program. Sean, once again, I welcome you in this morning as the leader in the clubhouse. You have 38 points, my man. Now, Tommy, you're catching up, and you're right behind him. You got 38. I'm at 33, and Clay's at 32. So once again, Sean, you are the leader in the clubhouse.
I'm one back. 38, 37, Clay at 33, 32. So, yeah.
Oh,
on his heels.
God.
I'm on your heels, man.
Oh, no.
Pressure's on.
I better start doing some stretching and running. Here we go.
There you go.
Got to pull out the lead at the very end.
Yeah.
We got 3 games to pick today. We got the NFC Championship, the AFC Championship, and the Arkansas game against Vandy. We will start with the NFC Championship game, which is 2 o'clock on Fox. Sean, this is the Green Bay Packers and the Tampa Bay Bucks. Jenkins, is there a line for this one, buddy?
I can see if I can find one for you here real quick. Why don't you go on, do that?
One.
Pick the Chiefs and the Bills, and I'll get you a line real quick.
Kansas City, we'll move to the AFC Championship then. Kansas City is -3 taking on the Buffalo Bills. They're 3-point home favorites. Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes. That game's at 5:30 on CBS with Jim Nantz and Tony Romo on the call. Clay, I'll let you start. You said this is the weekend where you actually kind of tune into the NFL. So are you gonna pick Chiefs Kingdom, or are you gonna take Bills Mafia in this one?
So is Patrick Mahomes going to play?
He, all indications, Adam Schefter and Andy Reid, they said he practiced pretty much the most of practice yesterday. All indications are leading us to believe that he will participate in this game.
Okay, if he plays, I got the Chiefs. If he doesn't play, I got the Bills.
Tommy?
Can you do that? I'm joking. I'll take the Chiefs.
I'll do anything you want, Clay.
I think you've got to make
I'll take the Chiefs. I was just playing around.
All right, so Chiefs, and we're going with -3 is the line, right?
Yes.
All right.
That's according to ESPN.
Yeah,
so.
I've got the lines here, 3, and then the other game's 3.5.
Yep.
So give me boy, this is great. Give me the Bills and the points. I think the Chiefs win, but it's going to be tight at the end. Bills and the points.
Sean, where are you going on this one, man?
Taking the Chiefs.
Chiefs Kingdom.
Yep.
I feel like this is going to push. So I'm going to take the Chiefs because I feel like this is going to be a field goal. This is going to be a Harrison Butker field goal to send the Chiefs to the Super Bowl for a second consecutive time. So Tommy, you're the only one on the Bills, so
There
you
you
could get that major point next.
That was the strategy.
Next week.
Right.
Next game, Green Bay Packers taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Another close line. Green Bay is favored by 3.5 in Lambeau. Now, I mentioned this earlier when we were talking NFL. I think the better game would be Green Bay and Kansas City in the Super Bowl. I think there's more storylines. I think it's higher rated if Brady and the Bucs move on. But I think Green Bay wins this game. Aaron Rodgers is unbelievable, and I know that Tampa Bay has a good rushing attack, but they have been susceptible to the pass. Y'all, Drew Brees was playing with, I don't know if it was a lacerated kidney, but he had 10 injuries last week. He couldn't throw the ball more than 20 yards downfield. That's why they had to bring Jameis in. I'm going the Packers. I think Aaron Rodgers lights up that Buccaneers defense. Tommy, where are you going?
I'm going Packers in this game. Give me the Packers minus the points. So,
Clay?
I'm going to go, just for funsies, I'm going to go with Tom Brady.
There you go.
Listen,
I've never heard Clay say funsies.
That's a first time for everything.
Wow.
That's it. Listen, that could easily pay off. I'm not confident in this Packers pick, even though
it's a lot colder in Green Bay than it is in Tampa Bay.
A whole lot.
Big difference in those bays.
Yeah, that is a point. But he's used to playing in Foxborough. So he's not.
Giselle ain't making that
Yeah,
trip.
but the rest of his team isn't.
That's a good point.
One guy
There's no
is.
palm trees.
No, that's
There's
a good
no
point.
palm trees at Lambeau.
Right.
I just need the Packers to win so I can sport Brett Good's jersey in 2 weeks. Sean, are you going Packers or are you going Buccaneers, man?
Oh, I'm going with the Pack.
Okay. So Clay's the one on the island for this one. All right, last game of the Fence-Man Friday picks. The Arkansas Razorbacks taking on Vanderbilt tomorrow, and that is a 12 o'clock game. We'll have it for you here on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. There's no line because the college basketball takes a little bit to put lines out, so we're just going to pick the game, fellas, one way or another. Clay, are you taking the Commodores or are you taking the Razorbacks?
Razorbacks.
Razorbacks. Sean, Commodores or Hogs?
They're going to win in Memorial Gym.
There you go.
Tooey pig all the way.
All right,
Tommy?
The
worst gym in college basketball.
Is it a gym or an auditorium? That's up for debate, too. I'll take the
It's
Hogs.
a gym.
Give me the Hogs. What do they say in the afternoons? Give me the Hogs, Chuck. So.
I will take the Razorbacks, too. So we'll go across the board when it comes to picking Hogs. I think that Scottie Pippen Jr., Tommy, you spoke to the strategy that they used with Sharif Cooper on Auburn. I think they're going to use that on Scottie Pippen Jr. They're going to get the ball out of his hands at midcourt, and they're going to make other guys beat him. And if Jerry Stackhouse has the guys to do that, then props to him. But I don't think Vanderbilt's able to get it done. So that's my opinion on that game.
I think this is.
Well, I don't think Pippen's in the same class as Cooper.
No.
I really don't.
Well, he's not. If you remember last year, and I'm forgetting if it was Pippen Jr. or another player for Vandy, but they utilized that strategy last year in the SEC tournament, and it worked to perfection. There was a Vanderbilt player, guys, that couldn't throw in the ocean, and they made him shoot, and he couldn't hit anything. So it worked to perfection last year in that game. It definitely helped them beat Auburn, even though Cooper was still able to get by and get some buckets. But I anticipate them potentially. It depends on how good of a game Pippen Jr. is having, but that is at least a possibility at this point.
Yeah. All right, those are our Fence-Man Friday picks. We do them every Friday here. Next week we won't be picking the Super Bowl next week, so we'll have a college football or college basketball slate next Friday before the Super Bowl in 2 weeks, and we'll have a lot of picks for that one. Brought to you by the Fence-Man. Sean, you guys are busy, as you said when you came in, trying to keep up with the demand right now and just getting supplies in to get everyone's fence done.
Yes, we are. We're really excited about it. Everybody give us a phone call at the Fence Man. It's free obligation, no obligation quote. Come out. We'll love to come see what we can do for you.
If you've wanted powered automatic gates, or maybe you've just got a fence that you got a couple sections that are leaning, you guys do fence repairs.
Yes.
You also do, obviously new fence construction. So anything involving a fence, you're good for the phone call, and anything involving a fence, the Fence Man does.
We can handle it. Custom, non-custom, plain Jane, whatever you need, we're here for you.
All right, 479-782-3936 for the Fence Man. The Fence Man, he ain't afraid of no work. I am looking forward to these games this weekend, and One of the best sports days of the year with these AFC and NFC championship games.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
No doubt about it. I'm also looking forward to the Bigfoot conversation that we'll be having coming up with Clay
Believe in
Henry.
Bigfoot?
Well, they say they're going to make it legal to hunt them in Oklahoma, is what I hear.
That's what we got to talk about.
So we need a road trip then.
Yeah.
Good luck finding it. Yeah. You're better off finding a squirrel.
Yeah.
Of all,
a squirrel.
I've received.
Might have a few of those in here.
Might be one around. I've received very few content advice from Clay. Henry in the last 2 years have been working at ESPN Arkansas. This is not what I anticipated to get a text from Clay, but we'll see what happens. We'll see. We'll talk about it coming up in hour number 3. We're going to be joined by Robbie Weinstein on the other side of the break. 24/7 Sports, talking a little Vanderbilt basketball.
The best deals on hot tubs and endless pools in Fort Smith and Northwest Arkansas is at Burton Pools and Spas. Achieve your health and wellness goals in 2021 with a fantasy spa starting at just $28.95 with 28 selections to choose from. Or the endless pool fitness systems. They give you boundless fitness with swimming year-round. Delivered, installed, and ready to use from Burton Pools and Spas. Burton Pools and Spas in Fort Smith and in Northwest Arkansas. Burton Pools and Spas, your source for backyard fun.
The Mega Millions jackpot from the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery is now more than $800 million. So, what would you do if you won?
If I won a big jackpot, I would build a huge mansion next to Mount Magazine.
If I won, I would travel, and I would travel, and I would travel some more.
Got your ticket? If not, visit your local lottery retailer for your chance to win the Mega Millions jackpot of more than $800 million. This is winning. Call 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
RV show pricing is arriving early at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV wants to invite you to skip the lines and the crowds this year and shop the industry's best brands at Northwest Arkansas's premier RV dealer. And with a lifetime warranty, RV storage, and a mobile service shuttle, owning a new RV has never been easier. RV show pricing beginning now at Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is Brett Good, former Razorback and Super Bowl champion with the Green Bay Packers. Everyone loves to be on a winning team. That is why I have joined Henderson Phillips Employer Solutions. Henderson Phillips can help you tackle all your employee benefit, health insurance, and staffing management solutions. Plus, I can help you with any commercial or personal insurance need. Come join my team at Henderson Phillips. Call me, Brett Good, at 479-651-2292. That's 651-2292.
Harry Robinson Buick GMC has over 200 pre-owned vehicles to choose from luxury to economy and everything in between, including over 50 great vehicles with payments under $250 a month, certain to fit your needs and your budget. And at Harry Robinson Buick GMC, you always get more for your trade. 50 vehicles with payments under $250 a month at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off I-540 in Fort Smith.
Your locally owned TGI Fridays in Fort Smith is now open for dine-in, curbside to go, and delivery for both lunch and dinner, 7 days a week. TGI Fridays is taking your safety seriously, following every guideline. Enjoy Fridays favorites like appetizers, burgers, sandwiches, salads, all the great Fridays, signature entrees, kids meals, and great desserts. TGI Fridays, now open for dine-in, curbside to go, and delivery. Call 479-484-0906. That's 484-0906. Or order online at Fridays.com. Your locally owned TGI Fridays at I-540 in Rogers and Fort Smith.
This is Randy Magnus, mortgage loan manager with RVS Bank in Fort Smith. Have you checked your mortgage rate lately? A lot of times people forget about their rate after their loan is closed. Your friends at RVS Bank would love the opportunity to review your current loan. With RVS competitive rates, you might be able to lower your monthly payment, shorten the term of your loan, or both. RVS services 99% of the loans that originate, so most of the time you can deal with any of our local branches for all your mortgage needs. Please give us a call at 479-573-1127 or download the Home For Me app to your mobile device and search for a Fort Smith loan officer. RVS Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
River City Bistro is Fort Smith's favorite place for lunch, dinner, and brunch. Open 7 days a week. both on the heated patio and the cozy dining room. River City Bistro is locally owned and open weekdays 11 to 8, Saturdays 10 to 8, and Sundays 10 to 3. Want River City Bistro curbside to go? Just search on Facebook or Instagram for River City Bistro or go to rcbistro.com. River City Bistro, 7320 Rogers Avenue in the Stonewood Village Shopping Center.
Attention high school seniors. Are you involved in welding classes? If so, United Welding Institute in Pottsville has an incredible opportunity for you. High school seniors that are interested in competing will have the chance to win a $10,000 welding scholarship and welding supplies. There will also be cash prizes for those that finish in 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Positions are extremely limited to enter the competition, so to get more info and to sign up, contact United Welding Institute at 479-968-3390 or by logging onto their website, UnitedWeldingInstitute.com.
Have your travel plans changed? Looking for a place that's close to home and keep your family safe? Gaston's White River Resort is located on the beautiful White River. They offer private accommodations in their lodges and cabins. Most cabins have a fully equipped kitchen or let their restaurant staff deliver to your cabin. Call 870-431-5202 and change your plans to Gaston's White River Resort. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time every time.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Would printing from your phone or tablet make your life easier? Are you emailing files to yourself so that you can print them from your desktop or laptop? The Xerox VersaLink and AltaLink lines of network printers and multifunction printers will natively print using your phone's built-in capabilities. Apple AirPrint and Google Cloud Printing just work. To order yours today, give us a call at 783-6600 or visit dixiedigital.com. Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Partly to mostly sunny sky. Our high today in the upper 40s north, mid-50s further south. Clear and colder tonight, and overnight low in the middle to upper 20s. And then Saturday, partly to mostly sunny. Our high in the middle to upper 40s. We're looking at showers as we head through Sunday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Hey, this is Ty Richardson. Make sure to listen to The Morning Rush every weekday morning from 6 to 9 on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
You're listening to The Morning Rush live from the Busch Light Studios on ESPN 95.3 KERX Paris Fort Smith.
Corral is in the gun. Boucher creeping up to the line on the other side. Now he drops back. Corral's going to throw. Short over the middle. Intercepted. Grant Morgan at the 20. Morgan to the 10-yard line. To the 5. Touchdown, Arkansas. Grant Morgan with a nifty move at the 5-yard line. And the Razorbacks score.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
You're causing a major disturbance on my time.
If I'm here and you're here, doesn't that make it our time?
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station. Streaming live from hitthatline.com.
There's a lot of lions, tigers, and bears, but there ain't but one Razorback. Number one.
This is The Morning Rush.
Borderline erotic.
With Ty Richardson.
Okay. That's cool. I can dig it.
And Tommy Kraft.
Do I look happy? What's wrong? Lloyd!
The Morning Rush starts right now.
It is hour number 3 of The Morning Rush. Alongside Tommy Kraft, I'm Ty Richardson. Clay Henry, the publisher of Hogs Illustrated, also with us as well. I'm going to introduce our next guest coming up in just a little bit. But Tommy, before we do that, tell us about our friends at Pratco.
Yeah, Pratco Fishing's hiring. They're willing to add to their team right now, and they've got several different positions, including a senior maintenance position that they have an immediate opening for right now. Job requires 5 years of maintenance experience. So if you've been in the manufacturing environment and you've got experience in maintenance positions, they need a senior maintenance person at Pratco Fishing in Fort Smith. Job pays between $55,000 and $60,000 annually. They're also hiring for other positions within their plant as well in their team. So give them a call and find out more about a career in the exciting fishing industry. Heather Chaffin's the person you should call. Her number is 479-441-1069. That's 479-441-1069. Pratco is an equal opportunity employer.
Want to welcome in Robbie Weinstein of 24/7 Sports. And Tommy, Clay, and all our Morning Rush listeners, Robbie has been a friend of mine for the last 5 years or so. We met in the Music City, and he started covering. He went to school. Vanderbilt started covering in Commodores for 24/7 Sports. So not only is he can give you a little background knowledge on me, but he can definitely do that with the Commodores. So, Robbie, we'll start with kind of just Vandy. Give our audience a broad perspective of what this basketball team is in 2021.
Yeah, well, I was going to say thanks for having me, Ty, but I think you should be thanking me for hosting you
That's
at my
a good
home,
point.
right?
That's a good point. Very
what
much
a
so.
What a high maintenance house guest, right?
He's just a high maintenance individual to
yes,
begin with.
All around.
Yes. Yeah, Vanderbilt. So obviously they were the worst team in the SEC last year and the year before that, right? Which, being based in Nashville, I think, and actually having a decent fan base for basketball, I don't think that should, that shouldn't generally be the case for them. But it seems like this season they were going to be significantly improved. It hasn't really panned out so far. They were like really, really thin depth-wise last season. Aaron Nesmith, who was the best player on the team and one of the best players in the SEC, probably first-round pick, lottery pick for the Boston Celtics. He got hurt or had a stress fracture that knocked him out after the first SEC game last season against Auburn, and so they just didn't really. They had guys hurt and guys left when Bryce Drew got fired, so they didn't have a lot of players. And this season they have all 13 scholarship players, at least entering the season, who were healthy and available. But a lot of those guys are young, and some of them have underachieved. And they also, they had a big break due to COVID, like in late November, early December. Like went 2 weeks or so without playing a game, and that kind of hurt them, I think. But no doubt they've underachieved. Obviously haven't won an SEC game yet. A pretty good offensive team, or at least a decent offensive team, but they have not figured things out on the defensive end, which I'm sure Arkansas is going to try to take advantage of with their fast-paced offense and all that.
Tommy, Clay, I remember being at the SEC tournament last year and walking in the hallways, and in walks six-time NBA champion Scottie Pippen, whose son is on the team. How cool was that you get to cover one of the greatest players in NBA history, his son, who's quite a ball player himself?
Yeah, the last home game I was at, I can't remember if that was I think the Mississippi State game, Scottie Pippen Sr. was there in the stands. And so no fans are allowed at Memorial Gym right now, just a few family members or whatever. And, you could kind of look down from the press box and see him sitting there. He's like twice as big as everybody else, sitting in the stands, right? So it's pretty cool. I mean, I used to work part-time for the Chicago Bulls when I was in grad school, and I would occasionally see Scottie around the United Center, so it's kind of weird to now see him in dad mode. But his son is a really good player, maybe a first-team All-SEC player, definitely second-team if not. And he's a lot better this season than I expected. I thought he was going to be like the third-best player on the team, something like that. He had a solid freshman season, but didn't show necessarily a ton of like explosiveness and athleticism, which is kind of ironic because we remember, his dad was one of the most athletic players in basketball. But Scottie Jr. is really skilled, great scorer, really crafty, draws a lot of fouls, and he has just taken a huge leap this year. So it's pretty surprising, considering how good he has been, that Vanderbilt has not taken a significant step forward so far, because he has really surpassed all expectations this season.
Yeah. When you look at Vanderbilt, basketball is such a game of rhythm. Your schedule's a rhythm. The game itself is, you're in your shooting rhythms. You just think about all the, just trying to get comfortable in your environment. Well, you look at Vanderbilt, they've played, then they've not played, then they've not played. You're so used to playing Tuesday or Wednesday and Saturday. You turn around, you play Tuesday or Wednesday and Saturday. Yeah. When you have those breaks, how have you seen it affect this team and their inability to get over the hump in the SEC so far just by not being in that playing rhythm?
Yeah, I think it's been very significant. I don't think Vanderbilt played a good game or even a decent game until at Kentucky in the second SEC game of the season, I think it was. And for sure, I mean, they had, I believe, multiple players who had COVID in late November, early December, and they had a lot of newcomers to this team. And so offensively, you could see not only in the first game, but then when they got back from that break, it just looked terrible. I mean, it was really sloppy. There was no chemistry. And the guy who I expected to be the best player coming this year, DJ Harvey, who's a transfer for Notre Dame, scored like 12 points per game at Notre Dame his last season there and was a 4-star recruit, top 50 recruit. He had COVID, and he already was kind of on the heavy side anyway. He's like 6'6", 235 pounds. And when you're quarantined or sick or whatever for 2 weeks, you can get out of shape real quickly. And so he has not looked good this season. I guess he's played a little bit better as the season has gone on, but when one of your key players just can't get into, basically good conditioning because he's been quarantined and then he's set back so far and loses confidence, I think that really hurts. And then, of course, like building chemistry on offense and trusting your teammates and all that, I think that was the most significant thing. They have definitely improved offensively, but for a while there, it was pretty rough.
Are you like me and Ty? Did you have Alabama picked to be off to such a great start in the SEC? Because that's exactly how we thought the league would be stacking up at this point.
I was a little bit different from others. I did not think Tennessee was going to be the best team. I thought Kentucky was. That's looking great, right? That was a disastrous pick. I also liked LSU. I did not particularly, I thought Alabama maybe like 4th place, 5th place, but geez, they have been just completely on fire. I mean, they're looking like, top 10 team right now for sure. They have surprised me definitely, and I don't know. I'm a little surprised. What's Arkansas right now? 3 and 4, 3 and 5 in the SEC.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would have thought I had the Hogs probably like 5th or something like that coming into the season. So I mean, they've got a long way to go, but they've been a little bit disappointing, at least in league play. Certainly the last 2-3 games or whatever.
Nate Oates is definitely the front runner for Coach of the Year at this point. We're talking with Robbie Weinstein, 24/7 Sports here on the Morning Rush. Tommy, you could probably speak to this better. Let's go back to 1995. People forget Jerry Stackhouse was on that North Carolina team with Rasheed Wallace that Arkansas beat in the national semifinal, in the Final Four. We spoke to Scottie Pippen earlier. What's covering one of the best college players at North Carolina? What's covering him been like here at Vanderbilt?
I love it because I also covered Bryce Drew and I also covered Kevin Stallings. And Bryce Drew, really nice guy for sure. Really seems like a really kind person. But in terms of covering him as a media member, he was not very interesting. He would not criticize his players basically at all. In press conferences, even if they really didn't play well or didn't play hard. Whereas Stackhouse just says whatever comes to his mind at any time. So you can ask him a question and be pretty confident that you're going to get a straight answer, which is not really the case with certainly a lot of football coaches, and I think even a lot of basketball coaches as well. So he's really entertaining to cover. I think the team hasn't been good. At some point, like when they're just losing basically every game in the SEC, it gets a little bit monotonous. I don't care whether they win or lose individual games, but it's fun to cover a competitive team. I do think Stackhouse, I actually think he's a good coach. This was kind of a smoldering crater of a program when he got here.
Yeah.
And you can kind of watch them play offense, and I think they're a pretty well-coached team. Recruiting is a little bit of a question because they still don't really have a center that is particularly productive, and they've needed to address that for a while. And then defensively, I don't really have that many questions about his coaching ability on that end, but they haven't really shown it. I mean, they haven't been a good defensive team so far, so I don't know if that's personnel or if that's him or what. But he's pretty interesting. I mean, he's a funny guy. He's really sharp, and he'll go at the media a little bit sometimes if they rub him the wrong way. He can bite some people's heads off, but I think he's a pretty nice guy, and he's definitely entertaining to cover.
And Tommy, you have a unique opportunity here. I don't know if we've ever had a friend of mine that's on this program, and you basically have
there's only like 3 we can
invite.
There's
not a lot. This is a no holds bar. I think I'm using that term correctly. Opportunity for you that we've asked Robbie pretty much sports content questions to this point. You can basically ask him anything about me, and it's on air. It's public, so it could be as embarrassing as you want
I know
it to
where
be.
all of Ty's skeletons are buried.
Yes, and it's wide open if you want to do it.
So it's almost like you're asking to be hit over the head with a hammer.
Well, you do it repeatedly on a monthly or weekly basis, so I just figured you'd take advantage of this opportunity.
Clay, I think Clay's going to be chomping at the bit.
Clay just said, "What do you know?" I asked if
Clay has raised his hand here for this conversation.
Clay now wants to hop in on this. Our buddy Clay Henry. Clay, go ahead, man.
Well, we don't really understand why Ty suddenly wants to take a road trip. Is there a female involved in this trip?
That'd be the long shot.
There actually is.
I knew it.
Yeah,
I knew it.
Yeah.
Let's spill the beans. Come on.
The last time Ty was here,
we're going to
all
be
of
out
a
of
sudden,
time.
Ty had no interest in going to Baton Rouge. He had no interest in going to
Right,
Tuscaloosa.
right.
He had no interest in, hey.
And this is a monumental game,
Right,
Arkansas Vanderbilt.
Has he asked me if he could go to Rupp Arena in the second half?
You're right.
No. Hey,
It's a pivotal point in the season.
There's this weekend in January. Arkansas is playing at Vanderbilt. I'd like to go cover the game.
Well, the last time Ty was here, I think it was in June or July, something along those lines. It was over the summer. We were all like, "Oh, Ty's coming in town. Okay, all right. COVID, so maybe we'll be a little bit limited in what we can do." I don't even remember if the bars downtown were open, but
lock up the seltzers and the shampoo. Ty's coming.
Right. So
Seltzers and
we were excited to see him, right? And he shows up. We saw him for a few hours, and then didn't see him the rest of the trip because he was chasing this girl.
Whoa.
Yeah. And then
just like that, we're out of time.
No, brother. No, brother.
I woke up on Sunday after not having seen Ty for like 2 days or whatever, and he threw an Egg McMuffin in my face while I was laying in bed asleep, and that was how the rude awakening of.
That's his way of saying thank you.
That's how I knew that Ty was finally back. He had resurfaced after a long weekend of alley.
Oh, all right.
You can send pictures. We will pay for the pictures. Yeah. We will send you gift cards.
The thing is, I don't have the pictures because Ty deserted me.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about for this trip.
Yeah.
Oh, this trip.
And
Yeah,
just
okay,
like
I
that,
got you covered.
we suddenly have to go to break all of a sudden. We're going to take our first break here of the program.
So tell us about this girl you're chasing.
Don't really have a lot of content
Allie.
prep for that, so we're gonna move on from this. Robbie, appreciate it, man. I think this is probably gonna set the
Thanks,
tone
Robbie.
for the rest of the show.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Appreciate it, buddy. So a little insight to what's going on this weekend, as Tommy and Clay were so feverishly requesting this morning, and I was not willing to divulge into that. So
Look, the listeners are on your side with this. I let the listeners in my newfound relationship that I've got going on. So we're on your side here, buddy. We're just trying to take care of you. We're rooting for you. Yes.
All right. Well, I guess we'll see what happens. Y'all want to talk about what Hunter Yurachek had to say yesterday?
No, brother. We want to talk about this new woman in your life.
The veteran reporter that I am snuffed this one out, right?
Yeah. Well, gave it away, Clay.
No
that
one
he
goes
was going to Nashville
game.
for no reason.
No one goes to a Vanderbilt game on purpose.
I'd never seen a game in Memorial Gymnasium.
You lived there for 3 years or whatever. How did you never see a game?
That's a question
So
I don't know how to
we
answer.
want to. You may not even go to the game. That's the part that I want to find out.
I will be at the game tomorrow. If it is played, as long as we don't get an announcement from Birmingham in the next few hours, you can bet your bottom dollar that Ty Richardson will be at Memorial Gymnasium at 12 o'clock tomorrow.
I mean, if somehow for unfortunate reasons the game is postponed, I'm sure you'd pack up and double back and head back here to the headquarters, right?
Did he say something about betting on bottoms?
Whoa.
I think bet your bottom dollar.
I'm sorry, I misunderstood.
Yeah.
Bet your bottom dollar. So, where's the laughing gag reel, Tommy? Do you have that ready? No. All right. We need to be better.
I count on Jenkins for that.
All right. So Hunter, your check, huh?
I don't know. I'm getting texts from your father now, so this is getting even better.
We got Daddy involved. Okay, what's Daddy saying?
He's questioning these ulterior motives as well. I mean,
listen, I am a hard-working.
I don't question them. I just knew that they were true. I don't question them at all.
So the moral of the story is this: if this game gets canceled, we can expect Ty back here.
By sundown
sometime
tomorrow.
Saturday.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know what would lead you to believe that with so much.
You said you went down there for a business trip. You're going down there for the
if there's no business,
game.
you'd head back, right?
But now that you're here,
hey, Ty, I'm excited for you. One date every 4 years, that's good.
Oh man, what puddle did I just jump into this morning?
You did this to yourself.
Yeah.
You let
and
Robbie,
again,
you
once
let Robbie
again,
in.
he did it on purpose.
It's almost like I set this up for a reason. So, all right. So Hunter Yurachek, can we move on or no?
All right.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
All right.
We can come back to this later.
Okay. And don't forget Bigfoot too.
Oh yeah.
Clay, I asked Tommy this earlier, and I'll ask you this. Of the stuff Hunter Yurachek said yesterday, he talked to the media, I think, about 30 minutes. We talked about the finance stuff. We haven't really talked about the name and likeness yet. You want to go there? Where do you want to go with what he had to say yesterday?
Yeah, I mean, the name and likeness stuff, I think it's going to get messier before it all settles out. I think we're still trying to figure it out. It is a much bigger event than we even anticipate.
Yeah.
You know, how it's going to be handled, whether Congress will get involved in more detail. I mean, I just think they have to, because I don't think the NCAA is not going to do it. They're coming into it, kicking and screaming, right?
They don't want it. They don't want to handle this, so they're
No.
going to force, someone like Congress to get involved, which generally when the government gets involved, it never gets better. So
I think that's probably true.
They should make their own rules while they have the chance, not have someone hand them the rules.
And then you talk about needing more people at the Broyle Center and some of those empty cubbies up there.
Oh.
It's like the compliance guys are going to be – you may have to have one for every sport. It's just to keep track of, who's getting paid what.
Now,
Don't
Clay,
really want to think about it, but that's, to me, the big thing out there. And it's what's keeping the fans flamed on some of the top coaches possibly going to the NFL eventually. It's like they don't want to have to deal with this because they think it is almost an impossible subject to handle.
Yeah. Here's what Hunter Yurachek had to say about potentially filling a position at the U of A.
I mean, the name, image, and likeness train is coming down the track quickly, even though that was tabled at last week's NCAA meetings. There's still state legislation in many states across our country. We believe there'll be federal legislation that's coming. Many schools have invested in a third-party company to manage that for them. I thought it was a better resource for our student athletes to have someone internal that could help them manage the launch of the name, image, and likeness and their brand building. And so that's why we're making that investment right now.
Brethren of the Morning Rush, I got news for you. Like Tommy and Clay said, it's coming. You may not like it. You may, like the NCAA, be kicking and screaming. But that university in Austin, Texas, with their leverage program and other schools across the country, they're getting out in front of this. Arkansas is too. Now, you may hate the idea of this occurring, and there are flaws within it. I get that. But the last thing that you want as an Arkansas Razorback fan is to be behind the 8 ball when all this goes down and you're losing out on recruits because your imaging or whatever's not set up properly and adequately. So, again, you may not like the way it's going, but it's going, and Arkansas's athletic department, they better be ready for it or they're going to get left behind fast.
You don't want to have the appearance that you're not embracing it as a university, as an athletic department, as a coaching staff, because that's not – I can't imagine how that would be a attractor for recruits. It'd be a detractor for sure. Hey, if you're tired of constant computer issues at your work site, you know that every day it seems to be something different. The router, the hardware, software issues. Who do you call to fix any and all of these items, whether it's a cabling problem, networking problem? You call #managed IT services. That's who we've called. Their multifaceted approach has helped us right here in the Morning Rush Studios. It can help your business as well. They support, their IT support guarantees that everything is going to work at optimum performance within your network and in your office. prevents the small problems from becoming big issues at your company. #managed IT services, 479-802-4978. That's 479-802-4978. #technology without the headaches.
Coming up on the Morning Rush, we haven't talked horse racing in quite some time.
Yeah.
Well, that's changing. Lane Whitman at the Railbird 333 on Twitter is going to join us. I know that so many of y'all are excited to get horse racing back in Oaklawn. Lane is going to join us on the other side of the break. Stay with us. It's the Morning Rush.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
If you're the head coach, you'd want it to have the fan base at Arkansas every Saturday in the stands.
You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Hi, I'm Bill Bolton of NWA Gold, Silver, and Coins. I started in this business in 1972 at an auction house that specialized in antique and estate jewelry.
This is Pastor Heath from Woodland. I know some of these ads make you glad, but most probably make you mad. The reason is people believe the lie that heals is better than the truth that hurts. Our purpose at Woodland is to risk the hurt by exposing the lies so you can be wise unto salvation. If you'd like to know more, check out our website, woodlandpeople.church. There you can download our app and listen to our podcast. That's woodlandpeople.church.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
That's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
In return for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
The weather may not always be nice outside, but it's always nice inside. Keep your game sharp no matter the season on the TrackMan Simulator only at the Golf Nut. This is the same technology used on the PGA Tour for ball tracking on TV. The world's top players trust TrackMan when it comes down to data accuracy, and you can too. The Golf Nut, 5121 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith's #1 golf shop since 1994. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook for daily specials. The Golf Nut.
Doe's Eat Place is now open to serve you the award-winning steaks you've been missing, along with your choice of drinks from the largest selection of wines, beer, and liquor in the River Valley. Doe's Eat Place is open Tuesday through Thursday 5 till 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Doe's Eat Place welcomes their loyal diners back and new diners to experience the best steaks, atmosphere, and service in the River Valley. The patio is also open for your dining pleasure. Just call for reservations. Doe's Eat Place, 422 North 3rd Street, Fort Smith.
Are your real estate investments being properly managed? Are you sending a check or cashing a check each month? If you're tired of your current property managers, then call Trinity Multifamily. Trinity will qualify your tenants and leases, inspect your properties, and take care of maintenance and provide you with web-based access to current financial reports, leases, and pictures of your property. Call Trinity Multifamily at 479-452-1817 or online at trinitymultifamily.com. Trinity Multifamily, your teammate in the real estate game.
Introducing Budweiser Zero. 0% alcohol, 0 grams of sugar. Full Budweiser flavor. For all the moments you want a beer and need to stay on your game. Budweiser Zero. 0 alcohol, 0 compromise.
Who's ready for a nicer, newer year? I sure am. Hi, folks. Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources. 2020 is finally over, and I'm ready to celebrate with terrific savings on a huge inventory of Rath road-ready vehicles, each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center. If you're waiting on your tax refund, come in today. Our Tax Max program can get you access to your money now. Owe more than your trade is worth? My transparent trade appraisal process can help with that by getting you up to $3,150 extra for your trade. Got past credit problems? My For the People credit approval process can get you approved and driving your nicer, newer car today. If you're keeping the car you have, let us take care of it for you in our Meineke Car Care Center with a basic oil change starting at just $24.95, half off brakes, and buy 3 get 1 free on all tires. Start your nicer, newer year in a nicer, newer car from Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center. A better way to drive. 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online at rathauto.com.
Have you ever been to River City Bistro for a brunch on the weekends? Every Saturday and Sunday. River City is open at 10 a.m. with a special brunch menu. Eggs and omelets any way you like. Premium bacon, sausage and ham, waffles, eggs Benedict, and a great drink menu featuring mimosas, Bloody Marys, and all your brunch favorites. We will see you for brunch every Saturday and Sunday starting at 10 a.m. at River City Bistro, 7320 Rogers Avenue in the Stonewood Village Shopping Center.
ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
Man over a screen. Note a three. JD knocks it down. The Hogs are up by 20. Note feeling it from beyond the arc.
Follow the show on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine.
So we got just some breaking news with the Arkansas football team talking about coaching and some changes that's going up on the hill that I know that you'll want to hear, and that comes from Clay Henry and Whole Hog Sports. We will get to that conversation coming up, so make sure you stay tuned for it. But first, I want to welcome in Lang Whitman at the Railbird 333 on Twitter. Lane and I were talking a little barbecue yesterday. We're going to talk a little horse racing today as you hear that beautiful horn sound out. Lang, what's up, man? Happy Friday.
Happy Friday to you guys. Glad to be back for year two of being allowed to be on your show, talk a little Oakland on Fridays, and looking forward to another exciting season.
Yeah, another meet underway today and this weekend. It's another odd year as no fans coming in, but we can all watch online, Oakland Anywhere app. A lot of ways to do it. Entrance requirements and protocols are a lot different this year as we're used to in the past. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, there will be some fans there this year. Of course, if you own some horses that are running, you can get in. If you own a box seat, you can get in with the reservations. I know that they send out a flyer to all the box owners. You email in early in the week on what days you're going to be in your box, who's going to be in your box, a list of names, and that gets put on a list. Also, normal, quote-unquote, fans, if you don't own a box or own a horse, there are reservations that they're taking starting on Monday of each race week at the Post Parade Restaurant, the Carousel Restaurant, and the Arkansas Sports Tavern. That is where I'll be today, at the Arkansas Sports Tavern, as I head over there here in a little while. But, you got to get your reservations in early. I know Monday they start taking reservations for each week at 9 a.m., and I think by 1 p.m. on Monday this week, the whole weekend was booked up. So that stuff went fast this week. I don't know exactly how many people are going to be there, so I want to get a look at that today and can report back on that next week.
Yeah.
For the future, as we move through the meet, I want to read this real quick because a lot of people have not heard this, and the people for the general admission, that's not happening right now, but just hold on, because this was from the Daily Racing Forum from owner Louis Sella last week. I don't think it got enough run around here. His quote was, "Do not anticipate driving across town to come into Oakland as usual. That's very sad for us, but," and here's the key, quote, "if we get an early spring and the weather cooperates, we'll introduce this outside. Right now, when it's chilly out, we can't really do that because we'll be bundled up together. The weather just doesn't cooperate. As we get into February, and certainly by March, if we're able to have some nice days, we're going to open up the infield early to spread people out. So let's get to February. Let's get to March. Let's see where we're at that point. We want to find ways to bring in more of the general admission people, but we won't know for sure until we get there." So there's hope. Without calling over there and hitting redial 300 times trying to get through on a Monday.
Yeah.
There's hope as the weather warms up, as we move through the season, that more and more people will be able to attend Oakland Park.
All right, our horse racing update every Friday is brought to you by Calico County, just off Rogers Avenue behind Randall Ford. Hey, let's get a quick overview of what's coming up this season. Who do you expect to be some of the top jockeys, the top trainers? Who should we be looking for beginning today at Oakland?
Well, the top trainer, for the past several years at Oaklawn Park, it's been Steve Asmussen. He's back again with the big string of horses. Challenging him for that top trainer spot this year, though, I believe it's going to be Brad Cox. I think he might now have enough firepower on the grounds to challenge for the leading trainer title at Oaklawn. National trainer Mike Maker is also over there this year with a string of horses. I don't know if he has enough horses on the grounds to compete for the training title, but he's going to win a lot of races. When you're looking at top jockeys, of course, Ricardo Santana has won 6 or 7 riding titles, riding mainly for Steve Asmussen over at Oaklawn over the last few years. David Cohen won the riding title a couple of years ago, and he's back. But the new jockey on the grounds, Florent Giroux, who usually rides in New Orleans at the fairgrounds this time of year, is in Hot Springs for the full meet, mostly riding for Brad Cox and Michael Maker. So I believe he's going to give Santana a run for the title, if not win it himself this year.
All right, real quick before we go, quick preview of today's Smarty Jones Stakes here on opening day.
Yeah, that's the first race in the road to the Arkansas Derby and maybe onto the Kentucky Derby for these 3-year-old colts. The winner of this race gets 10 points toward the Kentucky Derby, and this looks to be, to me, a 2-horse race between number 7 Caddo River and number 3 Cowan. Cowan is the favorite at 5-2 from the barn of Steve Asmussen, as we talked about earlier, and Caddo River 3-1 second choice from the barn of Brad Cox. These two trainers are going to go head-to-head many times this year. I'm going with the Brad Cox horse, number 7 Caddo River. This horse runs on the lead, and this 1-mile race at Oaklawn, the Smarty Jones has been ran 12 times in this existence. 6 times it's been won in wire-to-wire fashion. Caddo River is going to probably get to the lead and try to have Cowan run him down. Cowan looks to me like a little more of a late runner, and with the short stretch of the mile run here, the race will be over at the first finish line, not the normal finish line. It's about 300 feet shorter of a stretch run for Caddo River to hold off Cowan. I think that's going to be the key. Look for number 7, Caddo River, at 3-1 to win the Smarty Jones today.
All right, at the Railbird 333 on Twitter, Facebook, and other places to get Lang's picks. If you want some help with the tip sheet each and every day of the meet, you can get that from Lang. Lang, have a great week, great weekend, and we'll talk next Friday.
Sounds good.
All right, Lang Whitman joins us here to talk horse racing every Friday. It's brought to you by Calico County for lunch, dinner, catering, or curbside to go. Things haven't changed. It's still at Calico County, just off Rogers Avenue behind Randall Ford. And online, you can order there as well, calicocounty.net.
What's going on with the Arkansas football team? Well, the only way you're going to find out is if you stay for one more segment. Clay Henry, our insider here, the publisher of Hogs Illustrated, has the details, has the information that you need to know as far as a coaching change is involved with the Arkansas football program. You got to stay with us to find out. 877-377-6963. That information coming on the other side of the break.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
This is former Razorback and Super Bowl champion Brett Good, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
There's an old saying, the more things change, the more they stay the same. Hi, this is Scott at Calico County. 2021 is here, and no doubt a lot has changed in the last year. But something that has stayed the same is Calico County's award-winning food. Great portions that are fresh and always cooked from scratch. Something that we have changed is improved curbside service for those of you that don't want to fight the crowds. And of course, we will never change those great cinnamon rolls that everyone loves. So for breakfast, lunch, dinner, or catering, it's Calico County, just off Rogers Avenue, behind Randall Ford.
Harry Robinson Buick GMC has over 200 pre-owned vehicles to choose from luxury to economy and everything in between, including over 50 great vehicles with payments under $250 a month, certain to fit your needs and your budget. And at Harry Robinson Buick GMC, you always get more for your trade. 50 vehicles with payments under $250 a month at Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11 off I-540 in Fort Smith.
When you want a beer, you go to a bar. When you want top shelf spirits, wines, handcrafted cocktails, and cigars in an atmosphere befitting a destination, you go to 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge. Try our new menu items, including fish and chips, classic club sandwiches, Caesar and Cobb salads, or stick to your favorites. Dine in or carry out. Enjoy our state-of-the-art air filtration system. 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge, defining nightlife in downtown Fort Smith. Doors open at 4 Tuesday through Saturday.
Head to toe, it's gotta be Jelco for hard work and the great outdoors.
With quality and
price and comfort you like, and savings that you're looking for.
We've got the shoes and boots, steel toes too, outerwear and a whole lot more.
Head to toe, it's gotta be Gelco.
For hard work and the great outdoors.
After I drop the kids off, I have to run across town for a meeting, hit the gym during lunch. Jake has soccer tonight, and Emily has gymnastics? Oh, did I turn on the crock pot this morning?
With a never-ending to-do list, it's easy to forget something important, like setting up a life insurance plan with Shelter Insurance. Your local Shelter agent can show you how to create a safety net for your family. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
Ask Brandon Zimmerman in Barling or Chris Dooley in Fort Smith about Shelter's home insurance.
The bloodline of any modern business is their computer network, data storage, and supporting hardware. So who takes care of one of the most important aspects of your business? Hashtag Managed IT Services in Van Buren can handle all your networking services like cabling, firewall, routers, and VPNs to hardware and software protection from virus and malware. Hashtag Managed IT Services in Van Buren, 479-802-4978. That's 479-802-4978. Hashtag Technology without the headache.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One has a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
A chicken wing is just a flavor missile covered in awesomeness. And at Buffalo Wild Wings, we're locked and loaded with 26 sauces and seasonings aimed right at your face. So whether you're gearing up for the sweet tang of honey barbecue, Magma Hot Blazing Carolina Reaper, or new zesty lemon pepper sauce, get ready, because your mouth's in the blast zone. 26 sauces and seasonings at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Do you have sleep apnea? Are you tired of dealing with a CPAP every night? The noise, the constant cleaning, your wife telling you she can't take the noise anymore. Dr. Bo Sparkman at Family Dental Care of Fort Smith can help you with sleep apnea with a custom dental appliance that allows you to get rid of that annoying CPAP. Dr. Sparkman has years of experience and has treated hundreds of patients just like you. Call for your appointment today, 785-1419. That's 785-1419. Get rid of your CPAP with Family Dental Care of Fort Smith.
ESPN 95.3.
Good morning to the Morning Rush, everybody.
Caught off, ball knocked away, stolen by Vanover. Ahead to Smith, 2-on-1. Justin's going to go all the way, slams it home, and he draws the foul.
I'm going to try this call-in number.
Call or text the Morning Rush at 877-377-6963.
My first official call-in.
We told you the news was coming. It's on its way. First, we want to welcome in Larry Rath of Rath Auto Resources this morning. Larry, what you got going on Friday, man?
Hey, good morning. Sun is shining, birds are singing. What a great time to get a nicer, newer car this weekend at Rath Auto Resources in Fort Smith, or Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale. You know, folks, we've got a great selection. You know, timing is a big part of any great decision, and right now is the time to get you a premium pre-owned vehicle. You know, the market was crazy all last year. They're saying it may go up as much as 30% in this first quarter of this year. Folks, if you want to save some money, get your nicer, newer car now. And we've got a great selection, over 100 there in Fort Smith for you to choose from, a couple of hundred altogether of these premium pre-owned cars. We're talking about late model, low mileage, extra clean cars, and these cars are Rath road ready. And you can't duplicate that anywhere else. That's as good a used car as you're going to buy anywhere. And you look for that Rath road ready sticker. That car's been hand-picked. It's been run through our Meineke Car Care Center for a full inspection, through our reconditioning department. They come out just like new. Folks, you cannot do better than a Rath Road Ready car, and they're only available at Rath Auto Resources in Fort Smith, Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale. If you're waiting on your tax money, we can help with that. Our Tax Max program can get you access to your money now. It's just we can solve those problems. Come to us, talk to one of our friendly non-commissioned solution specialists. Go online, start that conversation there if you're more comfortable with that. Let us solve all your problems and get you driving a nicer, newer car now from Rath Auto Resources in Fort Smith, Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale. You can check us out online at rathauto.com.
That's Rath Auto Resources, Fort Smith, and in Springdale. Larry, have a great Friday, and we'll talk next week.
Thanks, Tommy. You guys have a good one. And folks, come and see it.
Well, hey, you're the one that brought it up, so the floor is yours, man. What do you have for our Morning Rush listeners?
I give credit to Tom Murphy. This story is up at Whole Hog Sports. This is something that I kind of expected for the whole, almost immediately. In fact, when I knew that Barry Odom was going to be the defensive coordinator, I thought that the linebacker coach would be Michael Scherer. Sam Pittman hired Ryan Rhodes from junior college, and that was the way it went down. And but now I think that Barry Odom has got his guy, and they've elevated Michael Scherer, and Ryan Rhodes is probably going to take a vacant job that Bobby Allen held, which was director of high school, high school coordination for recruiting, and which is, it fits with his background. He understands high school coaches and NFL scouting, that kind of stuff. That's the job that is, and it was open. Michael Scherer is the brightest coach on that staff, and he's somebody that that Odom has mentored since his playing days. Was really a great linebacker at Missouri, and they did elevate him for one game last year. I don't know if you remember, but he was in the box for the for the Florida game when Sam Pittman was out. So that's a little trial by under the gun. How did he do? I'm sure he did great. Everybody over there thinks highly of Michael Scherer, and this is no reflection on Ryan Rhodes, who did a great job with these linebackers. But I think he probably had a lot of help from Scherer, who knew this Barry Odom scheme, was able to work with players as the quality control defensive coach on the staff last year.
So, just first blush and looking at this story as Tom and Whole Hog breaks this story that Ryan Rhodes is stepping down and changing roles in the coaching staff, and Michael Scherer's elevated to the linebacker coach. If you're just jumping on, you think this was maybe part of Barry Odom saying, "Hey, I'll come back for another year, but here's an item or two that I'd like to have ironed out, worked out for my staff." I'm sure that maybe this was part of the conversation when Texas was courting and other schools were courting that, hey, I'd like to make these staff changes on my side of the ball.
Not maybe. 100%. That's
okay.
True, Tommy. 100%. That's true. And that was one of the suggestions. Okay, this is what I'd like to do. Well, then do it. And Scherer's already coaching. He was very helpful in the things that he was doing, but did not get to go on the road recruiting. And so, nobody's going on the road recruiting, but you understand what I'm talking about. And they think he's a Luke Fickell type. I used to hear John Cooper talk about Luke Fickell when Luke Fickell was a player and a young coach, a graduate assistant at Ohio State. John Cooper's a friend of mine from way back in my Tulsa days, and he just kept talking about Luke Fickell was going to be a great coach. Well, if you're around Barry Odom or Sam Pittman, they'd say the same things about Michael Scherer. Rising star in the profession, and just it's his time. You can only leave these guys as grad assistants and quality control coaches for so long, or somebody else is going to hire them. And it was his time. Yep.
Right, and it's a significant amount of difference in pay, I'm sure, from quality control, and certainly from graduate assistant that pays very menial. Quality control spots to full-time on-the-field assistant is hundreds of thousands of dollars. So it's a significant upgrade for Michael Scherer.
Oh, it's a tremendous reward financially. Yep. So, and it's like I say, it's time. He's going to go somewhere else if you don't, because it's you can't keep doing those jobs and going home and telling your wife, a young wife is like, no, I don't don't be shopping at Dillard's right now. Let's wait. You got to wait.
Yeah.
You got to wait.
All right, that breaking news update is brought to you by the Catfish Kitchen in Van Buren, now serving family-style all-you-can-eat dinners, all the catfish, chicken tenders, fried shrimp, fries, all the fixins, only $22.95. So they've changed things up to family-style all-you-can-eat at the Catfish Kitchen. You can even have the crab legs all-you-can-eat for just an additional $20. Now, don't worry, they still have the 2- and the 4-piece dinners available, but if you're really hungry for an all-you-can-eat destination, we found one for you at the Catfish Kitchen in Van Buren. Thursday through Saturday, 11 to 8, Sundays 11 to 3 for all you can eat catfish, fried shrimp, chicken tenders, and more. It's the Catfish Kitchen at the top of Logtown Hill, across from the police station in Van Buren.
I think the only reason that Clay Henry joined us today was to talk Bigfoot. Well, Clay, your time has come. I got an interesting text, we all did, from you last night. A bill in Oklahoma establishing Bigfoot hunting season. You wanna explain to our audience?
It hasn't been passed yet. Yeah,
it's just a bill.
It hasn't been passed yet. It's a House bill in Oklahoma to ask Game and Fish to establish a Bigfoot hunting season in Oklahoma, and that bill will come up for discussion February 1st. I think it's outstanding because they're out there. And we have to do something to protect, our citizens, and to have a season and to snuff out these Bigfoot threats is important.
Yeah.
You do not want your dogs being carried off by Bigfoot. You just don't want that to happen. And
has that been an issue for you in the past?
Well, it obviously is an issue in Oklahoma.
Oh.
And if they're bringing that in now. I'm at breakfast a couple of days ago in the Norfolk Cafe, and Cliff Lebrecht, who has a stuffed Bigfoot in his home. We went over some of these things, and what Bigfoot does and where they are, and he's seen them. He's got video of Bigfoot raiding his wood pile, and which is that's disconcerting all by itself. Is that somebody's taking your firewood. And so he's spoken and been to the Bigfoot conferences, and he probably knows why this legislation must be introduced. I'm sure we'll have it in Arkansas soon. You go down to Falk, Arkansas, and they've had Bigfoot.
They have a festival, don't they?
They have a festival. Yeah, I didn't know that they were in Baxter County, but apparently, according to Cliff, the Sylamore National Forest is home to a family of Bigfoot. So
no, not just one, a family. Okay. I guess
Tommy,
that makes sense.
Don't just get them one at a time.
Right. I mean, you got to have two to make three, I guess.
Yeah, and they would have a family, and so I don't have any pictures, but apparently Cliff has video, and he says he won't show the video because if he does, we'll be inundated by the Bigfoot community worldwide coming to Norfolk, and he doesn't really think that's necessary. So and he also says when you show video of Bigfoot or a family, it just is disconcerting, and so he just would rather not show it.
Clay,
and,
we've had
he's got an 8-foot Bigfoot stuffed in his living room. I think I'm probably going to do a story on this with pictures.
There you go. Well, we've got some listeners texting in wondering if you decided to take your medicinal marijuana before you came on the show. Would you like to respond to that?
No, I mean I've never. I mean, you can test me if you want a sample of my hair. You can test it.
Hair test. He knows it's the real test, the hair test, not the pee test, the hair test.
I wouldn't brought this up if the folks in Oklahoma hadn't introduced a bill.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like what you've read it.
Yeah, this is a fake conversation here.
Yeah, you need to have the House of Representatives in Oklahoma come on the show and talk about why he had to do this.
I'm pretty sure if I started huffing grass right now, I'd see Bigfoot in front of me too. I think it's just like one of the occurrences of because Oklahoma passed it, right? So I think that that might be the reason that there's Bigfoot hunting going on in Oklahoma. Maybe so. But you said it's just a bill. Technically, it's not not in effect yet, right, Clay?
Hasn't been passed into law. I'm sure it will be. I mean, they need a season. Yeah.
Tommy, do you believe in Bigfoot?
Not until I see it with my own eyes. So.
What about the Loch Ness Monster?
Aren't they one and the same?
No, Bigfoot doesn't live in a lake. He's in the woods.
Yeah, Bigfoot's real, Tommy.
Yeah.
Lockie lives in the Loch Ness.
Yeah, that's over in what, Ireland?
One of the Scotland or
Scotland.
One of those two. So, well, maybe we Clay. I'll tell you what. I guess you need to. I don't know. Do you bring a gun if you go hunting for Bigfoot, or do you have to bring like a cannon? What do you?
I wouldn't go with a switch.
A switch, just like a switch.
No, I wouldn't. Yeah, I would be armed. Yes.
Okay. Just don't show up stag. Make sure you come.
At least a 45.
Okay. Well, if this bill passes, Clay, we need to figure out a time that you and me can head over to the gambling state and do some hunting.
Well, will you be married by then? I mean, I know you're going to see this female in Nashville.
Yeah.
I mean, because once you're married, getting permission to go Bigfoot hunting changes dramatically.
Yeah.
Ty Richardson will not be married before he's 29 years old.
Oh, brother, that life has a funny way of working, my friend.
Ty Richardson will not be married before he's 29 years old.
You just went first person on us, Ty.
I did. I wanted to make that
I would say
I'll take the under.
Usually the part of the couple that makes the decision is not the male.
Well, this relationship, wherever it may be in the distant future, that's how it's going to go. Again,
So her name is Allie?
It's all right. We're done with this conversation.
Yes or no?
Is it Madison or Allie?
It's one of the above. Who knows?
It's a yes or no question, my friend.
Who knows?
Then there's more than one if you won't say
you're
the
dating
name.
two women?
Just like that, we are out of time on a Friday edition of the Morning Rush.
Bigfoot's more believable than him dating two women.
And we'll end on that. Everyone have a great weekend.
The best deals on hot tubs and endless pools in Fort Smith and Northwest Arkansas is at Burton Pools and Spas.